Under scrutiny in confirmation hearings like Matt Gaetz and Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Fox's Bill Malugin reports from near the Trump estate in West Palm Beach, Florida. The president-elect is still mulling who to pick as Treasury Secretary.
Some new names are starting to float around for possible consideration. The New York Times reporting Kevin Warsh is one of those new names. He's a former Federal Reserve governor. They report he's going to be meeting with Donald Trump at Mar-a-Lago this week. Another new name, Mark Rowan. He's a Wall Street billionaire. Then you have the other two candidates we've been talking about, Howard Lutnick, the CEO of Cantor Fitzgerald, and then investor Scott Bessent.
Spirit Airlines is still flying, but filed for bankruptcy this morning, months after a merger with JetBlue was blocked in court.
Spirit says guests can continue to book and fly without interruption and use all tickets, credits, and loyalty points as normal. Spirit's been dealing with competition from major carriers and a glut of flights on its leisure routes.
That's Fox's Ginny Casola. Spirit also racked up a lot of debt. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
They don't want it to happen. Radar is clear for now, but some showers moving in close to the west on radar. 50 degrees downtown. I'm Kurt Darling. Here's what's trending at 9:02. Protesters demanding the life of a man on death row be spared gathered on the steps of the Indiana State House Sunday. Charles Keith, who is from Delaware, was among them.
What we're hoping is that we can go into some of these other states and that same effect will happen to them. They hear the bell, it rings, and they'll end the death penalty also.
Talking to Wish TV, he and several other advocates hope to sway Governor Holcomb to stop the execution of Joseph Corcoran. He'll be executed next month for killing 4 people in Fort Wayne in 1997. The governor is making one last trip out of the country before he steps aside for his 27th and final economic development abroad. Governor Holcomb is visiting Saudi Arabia and Kuwait. Holcomb was in Riyadh on Saturday, meeting with U.S. ambassadors and business leaders with ties to Indiana. A person on a motorcycle died in a crash Sunday afternoon on the south side. John Herrick reports.
It was just before 3 o'clock Sunday afternoon when IMPD says the person on the motorcycle was going north on Emerson Avenue when a separate car was traveling south. The cops believe the car made a left turn, and that's when the collision happened, and the person on the motorcycle later died. Officers say the driver stayed at the scene and has been cooperating with them. On the south side of Indianapolis, John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
A man got away from Noblesville police Sunday evening after being chased south into Fishers. The cops say that the man ran after being seen committing a traffic violation and crashed just south of 116th Street on I-69. He then got out of the car, jumped the outside wall of the highway, and fled into the woods nearby. 272 passing yards, 1 passing touchdown, 32 rushing yards, and 2 rushing touchdowns. That's the stat line turned in by one Anthony Richardson on Sunday, leading the Colts to a 28-27 victory over the Jets. Head coach Shane Steichen keeping up the encouragement of his young QB.
I just said phenomenal job, man. Keep it going. Keep preparing the right way every week, man. You keep doing what you're doing, man. It's going to be special.
The Colts face the Detroit Lions at home next Sunday. Traffic on the 5s, Matt Baer.
Crash Kentucky Avenue near Gatwick. Cleanup continues on a semi versus a truck, and one person had to be pulled from a vehicle. So cleanup continues. Please be careful in that area. Again, Kentucky Avenue near Gatwick in Decatur Township. Traffic sponsored by Grand Appliance. Shop Grand Appliance for Black Friday pricing all month long, plus thousands in rebate savings on top brands. Learn more at grandappliance.com or your local Grand showroom. I'm Matt Baer on the 5s at WIBC Traffic.
David was in big trouble with the IRS.
At first, I didn't owe that much, but after this year, it was out of control.
Then David called Get a Tax Lawyer.
Right away, they were like, oh yeah, looks like you're qualified to save.
Get a Tax Lawyer went to work.
Should have called way sooner.
Get a Tax Lawyer has helped thousands like David fight the IRS and get a fresh start.
Call 800-745-3070. That's 800-745-3070.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is, if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
The forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Mostly cloudy skies. Today, a few showers possible, especially north of Indianapolis. Today's high, mild, 64. Mostly cloudy, scattered showers after midnight, a low of 56. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Marcus Bailey for 93 WIBC.
58 and cloudy on Monument Circle. I'm Kirk Darling on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
Good morning. It is Monday, November 18th. It's 6 minutes after 9. It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. Let's do a little bit of a weekend recap. The weekend was dominated by fights and football. Of course, you had that UFC fight at Madison Square Garden, which was epic. Trump and his team got a huge warm welcome at the fight. But then there was also that fight that took place on Friday night. And of course, that is the Mike Tyson, Jake Paul fight. High-profile boxing match held in front of 70,000 fans at the Dallas Cowboys Stadium. Millions tuning in via Netflix, or at least trying to. Netflix reported 60 million households watched and 59 million were buffering the entire time.
Did yours work?
No, not for the whole part.
Really?
It buffered, and then we got a little bit of it, and then it buffered, and then we got the first 5 rounds of the fight.
Okay, so this was the weirdest thing ever because mine was fine the entire time, and then the thing started, and then it started like buffering. Now, there was no long-term interruption. Nigel kept sending Hammer and me screenshots of his black television with, like, I don't know, the circle.
Yeah.
But mine was fine. But then it started buffering once the fight started, and it was like watching a video on AOL from 1999 or 2000 or whatever, where it was on the whole time, but it was pixelated. This is just an abject disaster for Netflix, right?
Yeah, it was. Now, at one point, the dude was downstairs watching, and I yelled to him, "I've got it upstairs!" So he ran up to the bedroom, and we were able to get 5 rounds of the fight, and then, of course, the last rounds, it went back to buffering. So we watched the end of the fight on Antonio Brown's live stream, which had 7.6 million fans watching on his live stream, which means, is Antonio Brown now more relevant now than he was when he was a football player?
Well, my favorite Antonio Brown thing is now he's getting a bunch of crap from the Netflix people about like illegal streaming, or not the Netflix, but some group. I don't know. There's some group. Maybe it was Netflix. That would make sense because he was showing the fight. And he's like, wait a second. This is just some guy who was in the arena, right? Like, is this our new? Is this the new thing that we're just giving people crap now for filming things, like live sporting events? So yeah, just a complete and total 100% disaster. It was a train wreck. I don't know what the Netflix, I don't know what their stock is looking like this morning. I know the market just opened. It can't be good, though. I mean, this thing was just a nightmare.
So Jake Paul ended up winning via unanimous decision after 8 rounds, improving his record to 11-1. Tyson struggled the entire time. Many people were saying that it was sad and it was not good. But I think Jake Paul actually is a fan of Mike Tyson and just wanted to help him out and give him some money.
Oh, you don't say?
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, it's about right, because, I mean, he basically admitted that during the post-game, that's not post-game, post-match press conference, right? I mean, look, this was a complete waste of everyone's time. Netflix should be ashamed of itself. 1, that they couldn't execute this, and 2, that it was this bad. Okay, so if you didn't, I guess we can do spoiler alert now, right? If you didn't see the fight, so Tyson comes out and he wins the first 2 rounds. Like, there's obviously they've got like the scoring thing going on, and he wins the first 2 rounds of the fight. And he looks totally, so they're only doing 2-minute rounds, as the 3-minute rounds. They're only doing 8 rounds total instead of 12. The boxing gloves were bigger than normal boxing gloves, and we went through all of that on Friday. He wins the first 2 rounds, and Then he looks totally gassed as he goes back to the corner. And of course, my wife has long since been asleep. So I'm just sitting there by myself and I go, oh, this is going to be bad. And it's abundantly obvious that Paul knows. It's like almost like he knew this was going to happen, right?
Yeah.
And through the next 2 rounds, there were multiple opportunities where he could have just knocked him into the next universe. And he doesn't do it. And you're watching this going, This isn't even real boxing.
Yeah.
This isn't even a real. What are we doing here? He has ample opportunity. Tyson's barely able to defend himself. He's totally out of gas. And then there was one, and I'm sure everybody's seen this on the internet, where Tyson gets a direct shot in on Paul. He stuns him, and Tyson just stands there.
Yeah.
And doesn't go in for the kill. Like he's got him like, it's like a Rocky-esque moment where, oh my gosh, an opportunity, and he just stands there and stares at him. Hammer and I said this on the show on Friday. It was obvious to everyone. I cannot believe the odds were only minus 220 or minus 200 in favor of Jake Paul. It's a money-making operation. The Jake Paul money train depends upon him winning each of these novelty fights, because once he loses one, then nobody's going to care. And so it was obvious that he had to win this fight, and both of these guys got their marching orders, and they both got a big payday, and everyone should be totally pissed off about all of this.
Yeah, I mean, this was a fight for entertainment, not for competitive quality. Now, Tyson did not officially retire after the fight, but he did share a heartfelt...
He didn't officially retire. He's 900 years old.
He did say that he was having some health struggles, and he expressed his appreciation for the opportunity to fight again, and we're thinking that's going to be his last fight ever. But the thing that really got everybody talking in a moment when Netflix was actually working is when Mike Tyson did a pre-fight interview and got cheeky.
What's your prediction?
Vicious win.
Vicious win. Thank you, Dad.
Love you.
Love you too.
And as he's walking away, he's flashing his butt cheeks to the entire world.
So my question on this, though, again, is what I would love to know what percentage. Like, we called it on Friday, so like I wasn't pissed off in the sense of surprised or whatever. But it seems like a lot of people were. I was like, what did you think was going to happen here? You bought this? What this guy's was going to risk his money making operation? I mean, I don't understand why people thought that it was going to be anything other than what they actually got. Now, you should still be pissed off because they presented it as a real match. They didn't present it as, hey, one last time to see Mike Tyson step in
the ring.
Right. I mean, they presented this as, hey, Tyson could kill him. Right. And there was no chance that was ever going to happen. And if you believed anything other than that, you're a sucker.
So many people were just saying, oh, Tyson's just got to land one heavy blow and Jake Paul could go down. And, well, it didn't happen. And, in fact, at one point, Jake Paul stood there and kind of bowed to Mike Tyson, showing him respect. He was wide open for a punch, and it just never happened.
These two guys, I mean, I'm not sure if there was direct correspondence, then you did do this, then you do that, but there was very clear understanding of what was going to take place here, and everybody played ball with each other. Look, Tyson loves pro wrestling. He's been a part of the pro wrestling. He knows how it works. You got to make it look. I mean, he did fine. The first 2 rounds were great, and then he was just like, he was totally gassed. And people are, and there's some merit to this. You show these now. The difference between the sparring sessions and the actual fight is you got a guy, theoretically, who's on the other end trying to, knock you out and could theoretically knock you out versus your sparring partner who's basically taking your stuff and, offering nominal defense. But he looked like a killing machine in those sparring videos. And then in this fight, he's chewing on his gloves half the time. And it's like, come on, dude.
They asked him about that, and he said that he had a bite fixation.
Yeah, look, here's the thing about Tyson, and I posted this, and I think even, was it Teddy Atlas who might have said this over, I saw a clip, and it's on the internet, so I'm going to operate that this was an actual quote, not somebody just made this up. This would be a weird thing for them to make up. But Teddy Atlas was the famous trainer of Mike Tyson. And the quote that I saw, and again, if it's untrue, people can say, oh, that was just the internet making that up. But it's right. It's accurate. So I don't have any reason to doubt it. Tyson had, he said something like Tyson had 5 legitimate fights in his life where the outcome was in doubt, and he lost every single one of them. And what that meant, and I posted something similar to this, was Tyson was a phenomenal puncher. He wasn't that great of a boxer. And 5 times Mike Tyson fought somebody equal to or better than him, and 5 times in his life he lost all 5 of them.
Mm-hmm.
He's not one of the greatest boxers of all time. He was a pop, a cultural icon of the 1980s, and he was an incredible puncher. And going to prison, yeah, he was probably the baddest man on the planet, and he did have an incredible record, but he got knocked out by Buster Douglas before he went to prison. So, I mean, come on, give me a break. The guy was a cultural icon and was a phenomenal, fixture for a brief time in history. But in terms of when people try to put him up with, Muhammad Ali or Sonny Liston or any of those guys, come on, give me a break.
It is a shared common experience that many people across the country had on Friday night, which those don't happen as often as they used to. A lot of people are saying that Netflix was the big loser. I don't know. Are you going to cancel your Netflix subscription because of that?
Well, I'm a dependent upon the kindness of others, Casey.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't.
You never had it to begin
I don't
with.
really have a say in this, how this operates. But I'm still waiting for. I thought does the stock market not open at 9 a.m. anymore?
It does.
Well, then why? There's no I'm not seeing anything on the internet about Netflix stock. I'm fascinated to know what Wall Street is going to do with Netflix today, given the horrific. Oh, here we go. Yes. All right. Okay. Yeah. 38 minutes ago, Netflix stock stumbles pre-market after Tyson Paul fight streaming fiasco. Yeah. I got a feeling this is going to be a horrible day for Netflix. We'll see what happens, because Netflix has World Wrestling Entertainment. The Monday Night Raw of January is going to go there. Now, that's not going to have 60 million people watching on it, nor anywhere close to that. But this is kind of the first foray for Netflix into something of this magnitude, and it was an epic. And you got the NFL going over there,
and they were trying to promote that throughout the entire fight.
And Jerry Jones' mic wasn't working, and
I just wonder, though, if it's going to make a lot of people go ahead and cancel their Netflix subscription, or is it just a bunch of people who signed up for it to watch the fight, got completely disappointed, and now they're going to cancel?
Can we just mention one other thing? Because obviously, this is a thing, and this is hilarious to me. So there's the well-endowed chick.
Oh, the ring girl.
Yeah, very gifted, either artificially or naturally. I don't know. I don't notice people's appearances anymore. But I was laughing to myself because she's all anybody wants to talk about. And I'm laughing at this, seeing all these posts about her going, there was 6 or 7 of those girls in the ring, and nobody's mentioning any of
the other ones, except for her. She got in front of the camera just at the right time. By the way, Tyson landed just 18 of his 97 punches. It is Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
Ah, the colors of fall. Orange.
Orange cone zone. Orange cones all over the place. This time on the north side.
Orange.
Orange barrels are up, restricting the far left lane and then switching to the right lane.
And orange.
Aren't you glad that I didn't say orange again? That's a little traffic humor.
When the colors of fall have you seen red, orange.
If I never see orange again.
Turn to Matt Baird Traffic. Mornings and afternoons on 93 WIBC.
Mike loves the fall in Indy, but he hates to paint, so he called Rhino Shield.
Our home is basically a contemporary, and we just started noticing that the paint was just fading and just looked like garbage. We had received a postcard from Rhino Shield, and we decided to take a look at it.
Rhino Shield's formulated for our specific climate here in Indiana.
We had problems in the past with painters. They leave debris and everything. Well, we didn't have that with Rhino Shield.
And right now, Indy, get the guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield for 15% off the regular price. Plus, there's more great news. Rhino Shield has partnered with Green Sky Financing to offer affordable monthly payments with 0% interest loans to qualified customers.
The thing about Rhino Shield, the heat gain has been reduced, and we save $70 a month. You don't hear that about any type of paint.
Here's Rhino Shield Shane Smith.
Call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint. Go Rhino.
Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Hey, it's Rob Kendall. Join me November 21st at Hi-Fi, a celebrity bartender toast to Moselle Sanders, powered by Jack Daniels.
I'll be one of the local celebrities creating a unique craft cocktail for you to enjoy. But here's the twist. You get to be the judge of who created the best cocktail. Not only will you have a great time tasting unique drinks, but you'll also be supporting the Moselle Sanders Foundation. Your ticket starting at just $20 helps us reach our goal of $10,000 to feed 10,000 people this Thanksgiving. Don't miss out. Get your tickets now at hifiindy.com.
David was in big trouble with the IRS.
At first, I didn't owe that much, but after this year, it was out of control.
Then David called Get a Tax Lawyer.
Right away, they were like, oh yeah, looks like you're qualified to say
Get a Tax Lawyer went to work.
Should have called way sooner.
Get a Tax Lawyer has helped thousands like David fight the IRS and get a fresh start.
Call 800-745-3070. That's 800-745-3070.
Discover cancer care that empowers you at Community Health Network MD Anderson Cancer Center. Our multidisciplinary care team will guide you every step along the way.
It was very overwhelming at first, but I found this whole community of people who are understanding and just very supportive. So I have a lot of thankfulness and gratefulness for who I am through this and after this.
Learn more at ecommunity.com/cancer.
Get in gear with fall savings at Tom Roush Lincoln. Get a brand new 2024 Navigator. Get an incredible $10,000 off plus 0% for 60 months. Or get $7,000 off select new 2024 Lincoln Aviators plus 0% for 60 months. So get some of those fall savings at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers.
Qualified buyers with approved credit. Not all buyers will qualify. Taxes and dealer fees extra. Stock number L24412. MSRP 104,200. Stock number L24208. MSRP 75,300. See dealer for complete details.
The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in more places that could expose you more to identity theft. But LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our US-based restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Don't face drained accounts, fraudulent loans, or financial losses alone. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Shh. The silence you just heard? You could have used that space to reach your customers. Get your message in front of your customers. Text BUSINESS to 71007 now. Get results with Radio 1. Looking for the hottest trends in jewelry this year? Come to Pierce Jewelers and see their Love to Love collection in lab-grown diamond jewelry. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
We're going to get to important stuff like Mike Johnson throwing his support behind Matt Gaetz and also President Biden wandering off in the Amazon. But there was another fight that happened over the weekend, and that was the UFC fight. It was the heavyweight bout at Madison Square Garden on Saturday. Donald Trump was there. He had his entire posse with him. Elon Musk was there, Vivek Ramaswamy, Robert Kennedy Jr., Tulsi Gabbard. Of course, he walked out with Dana White. Kid Rock was there, Eric and Don Jr., and then Trump went over and got a nice warm greeting from Joe Rogan, who was the broadcaster of the event.
Did you see all the football players doing the Trump dance
over
yesterday?
the weekend? Yes.
Okay, so my wife last night, she goes, look at these guys, as she describes them, the football men's. She said, look at the football men's or the footballers.
Yeah.
She will use either of those terms to describe the NFL action. She said, look at these football men's and how liberated they are to be able to show everybody they support Donald Trump.
Yeah.
And I was right. That's right. Because the NFL for years has pushed this, you know, wokeness, political correctness, the DEIs, like all of these things, you know, the like acting like kneeling for the national anthem wasn't some disgusting thing. And you know, there's all these guys who are Republicans or who are Trump supporters who were just like having to sit there and eat this because they didn't want the backlash of having to admit publicly who they were supporting or who they were supportive of. And now you're seeing it with all these guys, including all these black players.
Yeah, they're all doing the YMCA Trump dance. Is this the Antonio Brown effect? Like he came out, he supported Trump, and he said, it's okay. I can do it. You guys can all do it.
Yeah, I think it's just a you see, okay, so not only does he win the Electoral College, but he's going to win the popular vote, and he's getting more votes than any Republican candidate in history and any candidate other than the imaginary votes that Biden got in 2020. And I think people are finally just saying, okay, like my wife said, they're liberated to be able to tell people who they are and what they support. And Trump is funny. The Trump stuff is hilarious, and a bunch of these, these guys who have wanted to say this, they've wanted to talk about how they felt about things, and now they're able to do it, and it is fun to see them having fun.
What do you think about that, though? All of these people who didn't say anything before the election, but now that he's won, they're all saying, yeah, me too. I was supporting him as well. That to me is somewhat of a Johnny-come-lately, or...
Well, of course it is, but people are cowards. That's what they do all the time.
That's it, exactly. Is that cowardice behavior?
It is. So, but this is why our country gets in the positions it gets, because people are afraid to speak out, or they're like, oh, I don't want to... I can't tell you the amount of times over the years people have sent me stuff and said, hey, can you talk about this, or I thought you might want to have this, and... I used to feel an obligation to lean into things when people would send them to me, and now it's like, no, this is your thing. You just don't.
You do it.
You just don't want to take the slings or the arrows for it. You just, well, I can't talk about this. Well, so it's okay for me to talk about it, but not you. When you're the one who has more interest or benefit or whatever in this. This is why we're in the condition we're in, is because people are afraid to speak out. But it just is nice to see now who's lined up with who, and I guess it ain't nearly as one-sided as we were led to believe.
Well, it's also easy to say, yeah, I was supporting him after the fact as well.
Well,
when maybe they weren't, or maybe they didn't vote. At all.
But again, he's winning all of these states. Yeah. Clearly, somebody votes for this guy, right?
So that's true.
They are everywhere. And again, I will come back to, and I saw a post about this on social media. I can't remember what member of the media it was, but they were talking about, look at the impact Donald Trump has had on black culture, and look at the amount of black men who are now openly supporting Donald Trump.
Yep, they're not afraid anymore. Well, John Jones, he won the UFC match, and he gave his championship belt to Donald Trump after the event.
I also want to say a big, big thank you to President Donald Trump for being here tonight. Can I get a Hey, what do you guys think about my version of the Donald Trump? Check it out.
There's another person doing the dance.
USA! USA! Let's go!
You have to know everybody in that crowd was going to be supporting Donald Trump.
Oh, yeah, and those UFC guys have been Trump supporters for years and years and years, and it, again, it's just nice to see people no longer afraid of, any sort of retribution or whatever, and let it be a lesson. Speak your mind. If you don't agree with something, speak up about it. You're an NFL player. They're not going to fire you or get rid of you if you're even remotely decent at your job. Say what you think.
It is Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC. Good morning.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. In my 12 years of practice as a reproductive urologist, I've helped many guys with ED. And it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS. It really wasn't easy before. You had to take time out of your day, come to a physical office, and see a specialist like me in person. Now, through HIMSS.com, you can get world-class sexual health care and a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. It starts with a free assessment from a medical provider licensed in your state who can determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. So don't wait. Join the hundreds of thousands of guys who've gotten help for their ED through HIMSS.
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
Diamonds Direct's biggest and most spectacular sale of the year is starting now. For the first time, it's bigger than ever. Take 20% off virtually everything. Rings, earrings, pendants, bracelets, everything to make this holiday sparkle. This weekend, we're decking the halls with an expanded selection and top designers' appearances in the store. 20% off now through Sunday. Skip the Black Friday madness this year with Diamonds Direct. Open all weekend. For the best selection, quality, and price, shop direct. Get details at diamondsdirect.com.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
They have the green light. Radar showing some showers moving in on the western border. It's cloudy and 59 downtown. I'm Kurt Darling. Here's what's trending at 9:30. Ukraine is getting the okay from President Biden to use U.S.-made long-range missiles to hit further into Russia. At the same time, there are reports Ukraine plans to launch strikes in the coming days. This comes after news of North Korean soldiers arriving at the front to fight alongside Russian troops. The murder trial of a man accused of killing Laken Riley continues.
It's the prosecution who is expected to continue calling witnesses. 9 people have taken the stand so far after striking opening statements from both sides. The prosecutor says Ibarra went out hunting for women and attempted to rape Riley the day she was murdered. But the defense says the evidence in this case is not strong enough to link Ibarra to the crime.
Fox's Madison Scarpino. Another E. coli outbreak. This one from organic carrots is affecting 18 states. The CDC says 1 person is already dead and 15 people are still in the hospital as a result of the outbreak. Your opening bell report on 93 WIBC brought to you by Absolute Wealth Management, LLC. Some futures are climbing to start the week, but the Dow is off 27 at the opening bell to 43,541. The NASDAQ is up 85 to 20,579, and the S&P 500 is up 7.5 to 5,904. I'm Kirk Darling, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Nobody cares for you like family. Family heating and air.
Maintenance is going to drastically increase the efficiency and performance of your system. It's also going to significantly improve the longevity of it. People think that they are saving money by skipping their maintenance, and in reality, they're just shaving years off the life and increasing the consumption of that unit, spending a lot more in the long term.
Get your tune-up today at Family Heating and Air, your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
I went to My Computer Career because I needed job security.
Because I wanted a career in cybersecurity.
I went to My Computer Career because IT jobs are everywhere.
My old job was going nowhere.
I went because I didn't want college loans for the rest of my life.
Because I wanted a career for the rest of my life.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. Classes available online or in person. Financial aid available for qualified students, including the GI Bill. 529 college savings plans accepted.
Healthcare.gov has plans for health because you have plans for life. All plans cover doctor visits and emergency care to keep you and your family running strong. All plans cover hospital stays and prescriptions so you can have peace of mind. Visit healthcare.gov to explore health plans from the brands you know. 4 out of 5 customers can find a health plan for $10 or less per month with financial help. Enroll at healthcare.gov by December 15th for coverage starting January 1st. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Hey, y'all, it's Mindy Winkler. Transitions Indy's FDA-approved laser treatments and PRP work. No more hair extensions damaging my hair. Thanks to Transitions, I have thicker, longer, beautiful hair again. And they've helped my husband Bob with his thinning hair. If your hair is thinning, don't wait. Call Transitions right now, 317-522-2991. And here's why. You can lose up to 50% of your hair before you even notice it. Will Sadler, Clinic Director of Transitions, can help you.
Transitions Indy has over 20 years of experience restoring hair. We will find the solutions that will work for you. Clients can see results in as little as 3 months.
Transitions has the latest technology for men and women. So go to transitionsindy.com or call 317-522-2991. That's 317-522-2991 for a free hair and scalp analysis and get 2 weeks of treatments free. Take it from me. Don't wait.
You're listening to the Kendall and Casey Show on 93 WIBC.
So Joe Biden became the first sitting U.S. president to visit the Amazon rainforest on Sunday. He gave a speech and then wandered off afterwards without taking any questions. And it seemed like there was a path behind him, but he looked like he was walking off into the trees.
So this guy gives, and I'm sure we'll get to it later in the show, but he gives Ukraine basically the ability to start World War III with his thumbs up on these long-range missiles being fired into Russia, which you want to talk about a guy that is a complete a-hole. Oh, man, I almost said it. and I caught myself, and my streak is intact. In 22, almost 23 years in this business, I have never, ever had the dump button used on me. That's pretty amazing, right?
It is.
You are a complete...
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. You ever been dumped?
No.
Oh, well, that's even better.
For some reason, it's like a magic power. I can talk like a pirate all the time, but come in the studio, and for some reason, it doesn't happen.
Yeah, so you want to talk about a guy that's a complete a-hole and hates everyone in this country, that on his way out the door, instead of letting the next president, who's going to have to deal with it, funding the Congress, whatever, he goes, you go ahead and do that. Go ahead and just fire those things into Russia. Let's see what happens. I mean, and when he does that, he's in the rainforest. He's in the rainforest
while
great.
he's doing it.
Can we just leave him there?
So, yeah, he has authorized Ukraine to use U.S.-supplied long-range missiles for strikes inside Russia. Of course, Putin came out, and he warned that any escalation involving Ukraine with the long-range missiles against Russian territory might provoke a nuclear response from Russia.
Well, of course
he's going to say that.
I mean, I am so thankful that we are about to turn the page on, Jimmy Carter, when he was running for re-election in 1980, described the country as a period of malaise, right? And everybody's like, I can't believe you said this about your own presidency. But that really does feel like what's going on in America, where there's nothing about American life right now where you're super optimistic. I mean, obviously Trump's coming in, so we're getting there. But in terms of the actual condition of the country, the actual nuts and bolts of the operations of the country, there's nothing where you go, man, that is so exciting. That's what a cool time to be an American, man. We're just in a really great position. We've made it to the apex, and it's all downhill with the wind at our back from here. Just none of that feels like it's happening in this country. And this guy did it again. He did it again.
Zelensky has been pleading for these long-range missiles for a long time, and of course, Joe Biden said that he would be instrumental for a peaceful transition of power. Does any of that sound like he's marching towards peace?
It sounds like this is a guy who is giving a giant middle finger to Trump, but more importantly, he's doing it to this country, allowing Zelensky to do this because it will do nothing but incite Russia to escalate the conflict. And that's what Biden's trying to do. There's no way you would do this at this point. You have, a month and a half left, 2 months, whatever it is. I forget, it was 21st, is that the inauguration day? You have a very limited amount of time left in your presidency, and this is how you're going out.
And his decision coincided with meetings that he's having with other world leaders, South Korea, Japan, China. Of course, North Korea has said that they will give troops to Russia. Biden not addressing any of this publicly during his trip to Brazil for the G20 summit. One thing he did say is that he is leaving the country with a really strong foundation to build on.
It's no secret that I'm leaving office in January.
No kidding.
I will leave my successor and my country in a strong foundation to build on if they choose to do so. It's true, some may seek to deny or delay the clean energy revolution that's underway in America. But nobody can reverse it. Nobody.
Well, if that's true, then we're in big trouble, because look at the condition of this country. Look at all the you had unlimited control of government. They had all three branches of government for the first 2 years of his presidency, and look at where we are at. Look at the ramifications of 3 years or 2 years of having the Democrats have all three branches of government, and the fact that how can you hate your country this much?
Wait, why does he do it just like on his way out the door?
Sure.
Like, I'm just going to get this in really quick.
Well, he is, as he's been his entire life, a horrible, despicable human being. He is a total fraudster. He's a total cheat. He's a total liar. He's sold his country out. And this is a gross, disgusting human being who is behaving in a gross, disgusting fashion as he is leaving the office.
Something that happened over the weekend, Vivek Ramaswamy was doing the talk shows, and he was on Sunday Morning Futures, and they were talking about, of course, his new agency, the Department of Government Efficiency. And he was asked the question if they were going to delete entire government agencies, and this is his answer.
Are you expecting to close down entire agencies, like President Trump has talked about the Department of Education, for example. Are you going to be closing down departments?
We expect mass reductions. We expect certain agencies to be deleted outright. We expect mass reductions in force in areas of the federal government that are bloated. We expect massive cuts among federal contractors and others who are overbilling the federal government. So yes, we expect all of the above. And I think people will be surprised by, how quickly we're able to move with some of those changes, given the legal backdrop the Supreme Court has given us.
So I think the key thing to pay attention there is he said federal contractors, suppliers of long-range missiles.
Okay, so now, see, this is when you get somebody like Ramaswamy who can start to articulate it. It's a little better than Elon Musk, who is a horrible public speaker and is, quite frankly, Elon Musk is getting annoying. Can we all agree?
You think so?
Elon Musk
Has he overstayed his welcome?
I mean, it's getting annoying that he's... Did you see that clip of them at the fight and he's doing something on his phone?
On his phone, and Trump kind of taps him on the shoulder like, hey, pay attention here. This is what we're here for.
Yeah, he's getting annoying. But what Ramaswamy is laying out, and he didn't do it directly, but now I'm starting to understand it, is they are going to... Because they're not an official agency of government. They don't have the ability to just walk in and axe things. What they're going to do, because I kept saying, okay, when the Kernan Shepard report came out with Mitch Daniels, and they gave him the list of things of how to reform local governments in Indiana and to some extent state government in Indiana, during Mitch Daniels' term, the thing just sat on a desk and collected, or on a shelf and collected dust, because the lawmakers got an earful from their township trustees and school boards and whatever, and they said, we're not doing this, too much effort, right? In this case, what it appears to be, they're going to lay out to Trump through executive action things that he can do without having to work through the Congress, the House, the Senate, and that appears what they're going to be focusing on, rather than here's the large overhaul that is going to, the heavy lifting that it's going to take. So it appears that's what he was saying there, is that they're going to make recommendations through executive order based on the precedent set by Biden,
right,
that Trump will be able to take in order to clean up the federal government.
Yeah, he's saying that it can be achieved without Congress. They're going to score some early wins doing it, like you say, in an executive order, and then big portions of the federal budget, and then they'll move on to other things.
Yeah, we'll see. Look, I'm not a big fan of executive authority. We don't have kings or queens. We have people who are a system of check and balances. But if the government has said that, and has done nothing as Biden has done it, then, what's the old saying? Good for the goose, good for the gander.
Well, did you see how that UFC fighter over the weekend, Jim Miller, he used his victory speech to mention DOGE, Department of Government Efficiency? He also mentioned a certain squirrel.
It feels amazing. New York, I got one thing to say first. We need justice for Peanut, right? And it's not just a squirrel. It's all the kids that went hungry that night. And all the other things that the money and resources could have been put to. Hopefully that DOGE cleans things up down at the state level. I like how you use your post-victory speech for...
So it's interesting, though. It's already getting branding, even during these big events, fights.
Yeah, well, when you think about the all-time great political philosophers, it's Madison and Hamilton and Franklin
and UFC fighter
Miller
Jim
there.
Miller.
Right? When you
he took the time to mention Peanut the squirrel. That's still a thing. It is Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
Welcome to Tire Discounters. Oh, hiya, Phantom.
Mike, what's all this I hear about seasons free things?
Yeah, we're giving away even more than usual this season.
Free alignment with any Ford tire purchase isn't seasonal, Mike. It's free every day at Tire Discounters.
Sure, but right now, guess what else happens every day?
I know that customers can save up to $250 on Michelin tires.
Absolutely. Now, guess what else?
Mike, I'm a phantom tire buyer with a secret identity. Please don't toy with me.
Okay, here's the deal.
Yes?
We're doing these drawings.
Like a game show.
And one lucky customer per day wins all their money back for 4 tires.
Spectacular! But why call it seasons free things?
Season's greetings. It's like a play on words.
Yes, of course it is. I knew that.
It's seasons free things at Tire Discounters. One lucky customer per day wins their money back on tires. Everyone saves big on major brands like Continental. And a free alignment and oil change comes with every Ford tire purchase.
Tire Discounters.
Transform your home with Galaxy Concrete Coatings. Say goodbye to cracked, stained floors and hello to durable, stunning surfaces that last. Their cutting-edge technology ensures a beautiful finish every time, and you get to pick out from their many colors. Upgrade your home today like I did. Galaxy Concrete Coatings. They're for garage floors, driveways, pool decks, and patios. They come with a lifetime warranty and one-day professional installation. Call now for a free estimate. 877-417-0635. They're also online at galaxyconcretecoatings.com.
A true partner in your health dedicates time to understanding your needs. At CenterWell Senior Primary Care, doctors make one-on-one time with you a priority, so you can get all your questions answered and feel more confident in your health care. See how it feels to have a team of senior care experts working together to help you feel your best. CenterWell, it's about time. Schedule a tour today at meetcenterwell.com. That's meetcenterwell.com.
An official message from Medicare.
Couple more minutes and we'll start this month's book club.
You know, I usually love a plot twist, but this year I'm comparing my options during Medicare open enrollment.
You can't assume your current health or drug plan is the best one for you.
And you gotta make sure your drugs are covered. That's important.
So is saving money.
Review all your options at Medicare.gov. Open enrollment ends December 7th. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Mortgage rates are down and creating more active buyers and sellers. If you've been waiting, now is a great time to sell your home before more homes flood the market, driving down prices. Maximize your home sale now with the market expert who delivers maximum money in less time, Mark Dietl. Maybe you want guaranteed no-hassle home sale, but don't want to give up hard-earned equity to do it. Mark Dietl guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed-upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. Listen to what Dee and Andrew in Noblesville had to say about working with Mark Dietl. We were done with the rat race and ready to live the dream of buying a camper and traveling west. We needed top cash from our home to make the dream work. Thankfully, we hired Mark Dietl, who delivered big time. Our home sold for our asking price in 4 days on the market. Call the local Indianapolis agent I trust and recommend, and the agent who guarantees your home sold or he'll buy it. Call Mark Dietl at 317-755-4232 for all the details, or go online to markdietl.com. That's Mark, DIETEL.com. Tell him Rob sent you.
I'm Rick Julius, a partner at Cordell & Cordell. For over 3 decades, Cordell & Cordell has been on the front lines of family law. Divorce is more than just a legal process. It's a life-changing event that can impact your future, finances, and your relationship with your children. You've worked hard to build a life that you're proud of, and you deserve a legal partner who will work just as hard to protect it.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Indianapolis area attorneys. 101 West Ohio Street, Suite 1250, Indianapolis, Indiana, 46204.
Hey guys, it's Rob Kendall. Give back November 21st at Hi-Fi. Get tickets to a celebrity bartender toast to Moselle Sanders, powered by Jack Daniels. A night of community, Jack Daniels cocktails, and fighting food insecurity. Sample signature cocktails crafted by celebrity bartenders, all working to help raise $10,000 to feed 10,000 people this Thanksgiving through the Moselle Sanders Foundation. Tickets start at $20, with all proceeds benefiting Moselle Sanders Foundation's mission to support families in need. Get tickets at hifiindy.com.
Never miss your favorite shows on WIBC. Get your content to go. Tony Katz, Kendall and Casey, Hammer and Nigel, Tony Kennett, The Gun Guy, Home and Garden. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
She was an LSU gymnast superstar, and she's also a social media influencer, and now she is showing up the Pittsburgh Pirates for upping their Paul Skenes offer.
Okay, let me make sense of what you just said there. It's the Kendall and Casey show. I'm Rob. Casey's here. So I saw this over the weekend, and I said we have to talk about this because this is fascinating. So Paul Skenes, people here will know Paul Skenes because he pitched for the Indians for a very brief period of time. He is the new hot thing in baseball. He throws 100 miles an hour. I think he started the All-Star game, and he plays for the Pirates. He was a rookie last year for the Pirates. He played here in Indianapolis for a while. By all accounts, a really great guy, very nice guy, was very pleasant while he was here, very friendly to the fans. And now he's a member of the Pittsburgh Pirates. And he is also in a relationship with Livy Dunn. Livy Dunn was now, this gymnast from LSU. She was very well assembled and all the rage there for a little while on the the internet, and they're in a obviously now superstar type relationship, and she goes to all the games and everything else. Well, Topps, who is for 70 years now or whatever been sort of one of the leading baseball card manufacturers, has what they call a debut patch card, and that means they take off your jersey the patch that you wore in your first game, and they insert that into a card, and then they put it in these packs of baseball cards, and people, can buy a pack, and there's only one of them. Obviously, there's one in the world. Well, apparently Paul Skenes really must want this card because the Pittsburgh Pirates came out as an organization and said, if you pull this card, we will give you this incredible package of stuff in exchange for this card. Now, keep in mind, and I'm just ballparking here. Nobody has any idea. This could be $1 million baseball card. It's that these debut patch cards are very collectible. He's the big ticket guy in the set.
Yep.
And so it's like what? Like it's 30 years of season tickets they're offering.
2 Pirates season tickets behind home plate for the next 30 years.
30 years, right? Okay.
A meet and greet with him. You get 2 autographed jerseys. A softball game for 30 at PNC Park with coaching. You get a
coaching's gonna be
right, because you need that. Because if you're going to have that softball game, you definitely want to win.
Yeah, you don't want to go out there and embarrass yourself.
Right, you get a private tour of Pirate City. And more, this is my favorite part, and more unique experiences.
Okay, so we were laughing over the weekend.
Trade.
Well,
for the card, you get all this other stuff.
This card that could be worth more than $1 million. I don't know. I don't know what the market is for this, nor does anyone else. But the reality is, a lot of people think it's at least $1 million card. So we were laughing about this because unless you live in Pittsburgh,
who cares?
Why would you want season tickets to the Pirates? Like let's say you live in Los Angeles and you pull this card, you could have a guaranteed $1 million or whatever you're going to get for the card.
Yeah.
Or season tickets to the Pirates
for the next 30 years.
The Pirates stink. Right. They're one of the worst teams in baseball. This is the only thing going. This guy is literally the only thing going for this organization. And we were chuckling about this because clearly the Pirates are a small market team. It's hard for them to keep good players. They're going all in to try to show this guy, look at how much we love you, Paul Skenes.
We're going to get your debut card for you.
And so obviously, it dawned on, because the card by all accounts has not been pulled out of a pack yet, which now there's all this conspiracy going all around, but that the manufacturer is in cahoots with the Pirates, and this is now I'm not saying this at all, but this is all over the internet, that the card hasn't even been inserted into the pack yet, and this is designed because their sales are now off the charts to try to pull this card.
Right, they're just trying to drum up publicity for it.
And then it must have dawned on them, if indeed this is legitimate, nobody's going to want this package unless they live in Pittsburgh. So Livy Dunn, who is Skenes' girlfriend, pipes up and goes, hey, I'll add on, you can hang out at a ball game with me at the suite. And people are like, okay, still not worth $1 million, lady.
She said, let's raise the stakes. The person who finds the card can sit with me at a Pirates game in my suite.
Yeah, and a bunch of dudes are like, unless you're walking around in lingerie or a bikini for the whole game, what value is that for me? Hey, Livy Dunn, do you want a box of popcorn? Like,
still
what
not
value
worth
is that?
$1 million. Okay, so she's thinking she's $1 million baby. I have to imagine somebody like her is going to be very high maintenance. You sit in a suite with her, guess what? You're working. It's not like a relaxing day at the game.
Okay, so my question is, and I don't know how this works with the deal with Major League Baseball and the baseball card manufacturers. If you're Paul Skenes and that patch and that uniform was of that much value to you, why would you have agreed to part with it to begin with? I don't know if Major League Baseball has a deal where, as part of being in the union, where you have to part with the jersey. I don't know the specifics on this. But if that thing is that valuable to you, why would you have ever parted with it to begin with?
Right.
If the thing meant that much
to you. If you wanted it that badly. I don't know. Maybe he didn't have confidence in himself that he would be as good as he's turning out to be.
Oh, no. He's the best player in college. He dominated. No way. He knew he was going to be good. And this is what I don't understand. So I'd love to know. And by the way, Livy Dunn, you got to up the ante if you're going to get people to part with $1 million. I'm sorry. You may be famous and very well assembled, and for people who notice people's appearances, a lot of fun to hang out with. But you ain't $1 million fun, lady.
I love how people are commenting on the post that she put this out on the internet. Hey, I'll raise the stakes, and people are commenting, "Oh, I have the card right now. Send me your number."
I don't want to out myself. It's like winning a lottery ticket, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just they're just trying to maybe get people more interested.
But by all
in
accounts, from, and it's anecdotal evidence, I think, but from baseball card dealers, baseball card shops, people are now pouring into these shops buying these boxes of cards.
Nobody wanted the card a couple days ago. Now everybody's searching for it.
Well, everybody wanted the card. The problem is nobody wanted the rest of these cards. And look, there's one of them. One person is going to pull this card. Okay? One person in the entire world is going to pull this card, and it's not going to be you. I'm sorry.
I was asking you. So you sent me this over the weekend and said we got to talk about this, and I'm okay. Paul Skenes, everything, and I'm asking Jim, hey, is he on any Sports Illustrated covers? No, no, he's not.
I thought it was hilarious though that it's like, okay, one person in the entire world is going to pull this card. The odds are, again, it's not going to be you, and yet there's such hype around this now of I'd like to be this person that it does give some credence to what if they are all working together? What is there? Because this seems to be working out. It's great publicity for her. It's great publicity for him. The Pirates are looking like heroes. Topps is selling a gajillion of these cards. That's amazing how all that worked out, isn't it?
It is. It's Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
He must be happy. He must be happy. He must be happy.
Garage Doors of Indianapolis has been a local, family-owned and operated business for nearly 50 years and helps keep Central Indiana's economy strong by employing over 70 families. Garage Doors of Indianapolis stands by their products and services while they share and embrace our conservative values. So when you have garage door problems, call them today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis, 875-4577, 875-4577, or visit doorstoday.com.
Are you having a hard time making it through a day of work without foot pain or discomfort with things that used to be simple, like walking the dog? You may be thinking there's no way that something as simple as the Good Feet store can help you, like Bill.
My feet would just ache, my back would hurt, my ankles, everything just hurt. And I'd seen the commercial several times before I finally said, I'm going to do this. And I'll be darned if it didn't work. I feel a million times better than I ever did.
Another satisfied customer of the Good Feet store is Wendy.
Since wearing my arch supports from the Good Feet store, my back pain is gone and my feet don't hurt as much. And as I look into the future without pain, I see myself being even more adventurous, joyful, and full of possibility.
Come to the Good Feet store today for your free fitting and test walk. We're located in Castleton by the Fashion Mall or in Greenwood just off the 65. Or book your free fitting at goodfeet.com. Good Feet arch supports are HSA and FSA eligible. Discover your options at the Good Feet store.
Hey, Donald Trump Jr. here. Central banks are buying gold at record amounts, and the trend is accelerating in 2024. They see the writing on the wall. The dollar is failing. Is gold the answer for you too? To find out, get a free info kit from Birch Gold Group by texting the word SHELTER to 989898. That's SHELTER to the number 989898 to get your free info kit from Birch Gold, the only gold company I trust, right now.
Message and data rates may apply.
Diamonds Direct's biggest and most spectacular sale of the year is starting now. For the first time, it's bigger than ever. Take 20% off virtually everything. Rings, earrings, pendants, bracelets, everything to make this holiday sparkle. This weekend, we're decking the halls with an expanded selection and top designers' appearances in the store. 20% off now through Sunday. Plus, book an appointment and get an additional $100 off. Open all weekend. For the best selection, quality, and price, shop direct. Get details at diamondsdirect.com.
In the fight against lung cancer, it's game on, game strong. Franciscan Health leads the way with robotic technology to find and treat cancer sooner. Our entire team of multidisciplinary experts let cancer know it's hard to play against us. Franciscan Health is changing the game for lung cancer patients. Schedule a consultation or second opinion today. Visit franciscanhealth.org/lungcancercare.
Coming up in 2 minutes, an arrest made in the double murder of a father and a daughter from a few months ago. Plus, body camera footage released of a fatal shooting that happened in Gary last week, and why a passenger flight bound for Indianapolis from Texas was grounded over the weekend. I'm Kurt Darling. That and more coming up from the Technology Recycler Studios after Fox News Radio. You're listening to 93 WYBC, WYBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 10 o'clock.
They'll try to push a peace deal for Russia and Ukraine. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. At the summit of G20 nations starting today in Rio, with President Biden gathered with world leaders. But the plan that Brazil and China are working on is opposed by Ukraine's president, who's much happier with this.
Senior U.S. officials say President Biden is authorizing Ukraine to use U.S.-provided long-range missiles to target inside Russian territory, likely focusing on the Kursk region, where as many as 10,000 North Korean troops have joined Russian soldiers.
The United States has been clear that we would respond to that. We've been clear to the Russians that we would respond to that.
Deputy National Security Advisor John Feiner would not offer details on what that response would be, but says it is consistent with the administration's approach.
That's Fox's Jared Halpern. A Russian lawmaker warns of World War III as Russian strikes in Ukraine have killed at least 19 people in the cities of Sumy and Odessa. President-elect Trump still mulling who he wants to be Treasury Secretary, with as many as 4 people under consideration. He did nominate an FCC Commissioner, Brendan Carr, to be chairman of the Federal Communications Commission.
Trump says in a statement, Commissioner Carr is a warrior for free speech and has fought against the regulatory lawfare that has stifled Americans' freedoms. Carr thanked Trump on X last night, saying we must dismantle the censorship cartel and restore free speech rights for everyday Americans.
That's Fox's Madeline Rivera. Democrats are critical of several Trump nominees, planning strong opposition at Senate confirmation hearings. Now, Republicans will control the Senate with 53 members, though one unseated Democrat, Senator Bob Casey's not conceding yet.
As his margin of defeat under Republican Dave McCormick was tight enough to trigger an automatic recount under state law, which is supported by Pennsylvania's other senator, Democrat John Fetterman.
I think they'll never understand why it's controversial to count every vote.
Senator-elect and Republican Dave McCormick's campaign suing at least a couple of counties for allowing undated or misdated ballots to be counted.
Fox's Ryan Schmelz. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
They have someone. Radar showing some rain moving in from the west. 60 degrees and cloudy downtown. I'm Kurt Darling. Here's what's trending at 10:02. Brought to you by Moss Roofing. An arrest made in a double murder that happened back in August. It was on the east side when Jayshawn Johnson and his little daughter Armani Booker were shot to death in the parking lot of a strip mall on Shadeland. Armani was just 3 years old. William Pascal Young has been arrested and charged with 2 counts of murder. Soon, Joseph Corcoran will be put to death for his killing of 4 people in Fort Wayne nearly 3 decades ago.
The government is about to put a man to death in our name. We have input. We have influence.
That's Sister Barbara Batista on Wish TV. She was among protesters at the state capitol Sunday, urging Governor Holcomb to step in and block Corcoran's execution. It had been delayed for several years, but now that the state has the drug cocktail for lethal injection, the state Supreme Court says his execution will be carried out next month. Body camera footage released of a police shooting in Gary last week.
Step off the side here just so I get ran over. Okay.
The footage clearly showing Shahad Richmond, who was killed after pulling out a machete and attacking an undercover officer under the guise of meeting up to buy a PlayStation. Richmond had been the suspect of several robberies from online marketplace purchases. A Southwest Airlines plane had to be grounded in Dallas after being destined from Indianapolis because it was hit by gunfire. Sasha Nixon.
The plane had been getting ready to depart Dallas Love Field Airport for the Circle City. According to the company, it was hit on the right side just under the flight deck. Thankfully, no one was hurt and everyone on board was moved to a different flight. Local police are currently investigating. Sasha Nixon, 93, WIBC Mobile News.
34 points from Miles Turner, who led the Indiana Pacers to a 119-110 victory over the Miami Heat Sunday. Double-doubles also from Benedict Mathurin and Tyrese Halliburton. They're in the Great White North this evening, taking on the Toronto Raptors. I'm Kurt Darling, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
It's starting to be fall in Indiana, the perfect time to tackle home projects you've been putting off before winter arrives. With Moss Roofing by your side, you don't have to do it alone. They're ready to assist with your roofing and siding needs, ensuring your home is safe and ready for the holidays. Let Moss Roofing, M-O-S-S, mossroofing.com, give your home a serious glow-up with premium James Hardy siding, tough enough to face Indiana's wild weather and stylish enough to turn heads on your block. And the best part, their free inspections come with a 3D design preview so you could see your home's stunning makeover before the work begins. Contact Moss Roofing for a job done right every shingle time at Moss Roofing, M-O-S-S, mossroofing.com, or call 317-747-3665. Moss Roofing, 317-747-3665. That's 747-3665. Or online at Moss, M-O-S-S, mossroofing.com. And don't forget, tell them Tony Katz sent you.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WYBC.
Good morning. It is Monday, November 18th. It's 5 minutes after 10. It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. So the White House draft continues. Donald Trump has said that he wants Brendan Carr to be the chairman of the FCC. He also is still sticking with Matt Gaetz as his attorney general. And over the weekend, the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, said that he opposes releasing Matt Gaetz's House ethics report because that would open Pandora's box.
Hey, before we get into this, can I ask you a question? Because you've been in media longer than I have.
Yeah.
And you've been in management in media. You've helped run big companies and
Yeah.
whatever. Netflix stock is up right now.
Yeah, because everybody's talking about Netflix.
But they failed. How is this possible? You failed. You pissed off 60 million people. And how is that remotely good for your product?
It's not good for your product. However, there's a lot of interest in Netflix now.
But if the interest is these guys suck and they didn't produce the product that they promised, what other company would that happen if you don't deliver on the promise that your stock goes up? I mean, I don't.
Well, there's no such thing as bad publicity, right? All publicity
Tell it to
is
Enron.
good. Well, maybe people are thinking that they will bounce back from this. They learned, they correct, and now moving forward, they've got football and all these other things. They're going to work it out. So now's the time to get on board.
So you can completely. It wasn't like they kind of blew it.
Oh no, they really blew it.
You completely can botch.
But they owned Twitter. The Twitter conversation over the weekend.
For being horrible and pissing all your clients off. I don't let's say Walmart, I don't know, I'm just winging this here. Of course, this has not happened, but let's say Walmart had some national ad campaign about a select product that you could only get at Walmart, and then the product ended up making all the clients, all the patrons sick. Would Walmart stock be up? Because, well, everybody's talking about Walmart. I mean, everybody's really, really focused on Walmart. They're all over Twitter. I don't know. This is not computing to me, and I'm not trying to be facetious or because even the stuff we read earlier said, it's down in early trade. How could you be doing better after completely botching the weekend?
Well, because people are buying thinking that they're going to bounce back from this, and this is low, and they're only going to go up from here.
It's $824.97 a share, Casey.
Where's it going to be next week?
Well, I thought it would be down. If you can't even do a simple thing like stream the product you promised everybody you were going to stream.
Yeah.
They are a streaming service.
So when I was working in South Bend, this is probably the late 90s, Eminem came out with a song.
Marshall Mathers.
Yeah, and it was, it needed to be bleeped to be broadcast.
What?
The radio station that I was working at, we played the song. Of course, we bleeped it. But at one point, kids were listening to that song on the school bus.
Yeah.
And the transportation department came out and said, no, that radio station will be banned on the bus. We got banned on the bus.
Yeah.
And
is that the one where two trailer park girls went round the outside,
Yes.
round the outside, round
And
the I got it right.
The South Bend Tribune wrote a huge article about it. It was front page. And as soon as that happened, I said, we're going to be number one. And sure enough, we were, because we got all of that bad publicity that just catapulted us straight to number one. I think it's the same thing that's happening here with Netflix.
This blows my mind.
There's interest
That's
now
where we're at in this country.
in this product.
You cannot deliver on a product.
Yeah.
And then
you're
you get to be number one.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, times sure changed, Casey. Anyway, I didn't mean to disrupt I just saw that and I said, I gotta ask you about this, because that is just unbelievable to me that there are 60 million pissed off Americans and they're like, we're doing better than ever. All right, what were we doing? Sorry.
We were talking about Speaker Mike Johnson, how he is throwing his support behind Matt Gaetz as Attorney General. He's saying that he will reform the DOJ after an era of shameful lawfare targeting conservatives.
The reason that Matt Gaetz is such an exciting pick to so many people is because he will go in and reform the Department of Justice. It desperately needs it. Look, he and I sat on the Judiciary Committee together for almost 7 years before I became Speaker of the House, and we heard the evidence. We saw the evidence of lawfare. We saw how the Department of Justice had been used for political purposes, how they targeted Catholics in some examples, and parents at school boards, and pro-life Americans. This is not what our system of justice was built to do, and Matt Gaetz will go in there and shake it up. And I think most of the American people understand that's an important function.
Okay, so there's been allegations against Matt Gaetz, and now Mike Johnson is saying it's just a false smear following a 3-year investigation, and it should be viewed with great skepticism, and he doesn't want to open the investigation back up, calling it Pandora's box. He just pretty much wants to move on.
Well, look, so there's two sides to this, right? By the technical letter of the rule, right? Gaetz is not a member of the House, and thus they don't have jurisdiction over him
anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
However, Gaetz is only out of that jurisdiction now because he wants a promotion. Look, I'm a person that believed, look, if I'm a senator, there's no way I'm voting to confirm this guy without seeing that report. Now, maybe it's unlike Biden, I wouldn't take it out of the skiff, right? But there's no way I'm voting to confirm this guy without seeing that report. You want to lead justice in this country. If there's nothing in the report, which, look, probably is not, and by the way, an allegation to me is not something. I need to see, because you keep hearing these reports coming out, like I think The Hill had an article about this, that the accuser claims she saw Gaetz engage in, I can't remember which, I think it was The Hill, engage in underage, in sexual encounter with an underage girl, and that's in the report. Well, Blasey Ford claims that Brett Kavanaugh did horrific, horrible things to her, and not a single solitary person with an IQ above 7 believes it. An allegation is not enough for me. So just because there's an allegation in the report with no corresponding or corroborating evidence, that's not going to bother me. This guy's been under investigation for years now, and no criminal agency has come up with anything. So the chances are there's nothing. All that being said, you want to elevate yourself to the head of justice, the head law enforcement officer in this country. I'm going to want to see everything on you before I'm willing to say that's okay. And if you got a problem with that, then you got a problem with transparency, and I'm not on board with that.
Okay, well, Matt Gaetz took a tour of the halls of Congress, and here he is revealing some stock trades of members of the House Ethics Committee. Listen to this.
You know, this is Mr. Rutherford's office. He's on the Ethics Committee and the Appropriations Committee. 152 stock trades. Stocks go through the roof. And, actually bought Raytheon stock the day that Russia invaded Ukraine.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah, I mean, imagine if every American could make money off of war.
Yeah, setting aside the whole shame and ethics questions. How many more on our hit list here?
There are a few more. I wish there were fewer on the hit list. I wish we could only stop at 1 or 2 offices, but as it turns out, So energy is a sector that sees a lot of congressional stock trading. Sure. And we have members who are on the Energy Subcommittee of Appropriations, like Michael Guest, chairman of the Ethics Committee, and he's traded somewhere between tens and hundreds of thousands of dollars in energy stocks. He's been buying online gaming stocks and just making a killing on them. So you would think that the people that were on the Ethics Committee would be your best allies in this fight, but indeed they're some of the most prolific traders. And not only trading, but in the case of Mr. Guest, trading in an area where he has access to energy information more so than almost any other American.
Now, when I hear things like that, I have to wonder, these people that are saying release the Ethics Committee, the report, is it because they want to get back at him because they know that Matt Gaetz knows what they're doing on the other side?
Well, okay, so let's talk about Gaetz for a second because, you know, one of the reasons, you know we're number one?
Yes, I
Again,
heard that.
thank you to you, our fabulous audience. You're number one. I mean, really, you are the ones who are number one. But one of the reasons we, as the voice of you, are number one is because we dislike all of these people equally. And so let's be honest about Gaetz for a minute, okay? Matt Gaetz is not some crusader who was pulled out of a sewer somewhere. His father is an incredibly wealthy, very powerful politician in Florida. He was a kingmaker. He's been around forever. Matt Gaetz was in that position to be a United States representative because of who his father was and the favors that his father had accrued. And that's how Matt Gaetz. Do not act like Matt Gaetz is some noble, you know, guy riding in on a chariot to save the masses, right? He's the silver spoon, but the point of it, it's the hypocrisy of any of these people, right? For Matt Gaetz to sit in judgment of anyone, for anyone to sit in judgment of Matt Gaetz. Look, these lawmakers do things all the time that if you or I did it, we'd go to federal prison. We talk about this all the time on this show, where they write the rules so that they are exempt for things that regular people do. Now, all of that being said, you want to elevate yourself to the chief law enforcement officer for the United States of America, the most powerful nation on earth, 330 million people. You're not a victim, right? This is big boy sport, right? They're coming to get you. And you're a you-know-what stirrer. You take great pride in making people's lives difficult. I ain't mad at you, and I'm not even against you for doing it. People know I was a huge supporter of his when he took out Kevin McCarthy. Right. But you don't get to cry victim or cry foul or go whataboutism when you know you're in that position because you're an arrow slinger. And if there's nothing in the report, put it out there yourself. It sounds like all there is are unfounded allegations in the report. If there was something concrete, it would have leaked out by now. The Democrats have seen the report. You have been investigated by law enforcement for years. They produced nothing. Just put it out there. Yeah, you had a wild and wacky sex life in your 20s and 30s. Woohoo! Boy, line up in Washington if you're guilty of a wild and wacky sex life, right? I mean, there's probably things that aren't the best look that are going to come out of there. But his defense should be, look at the rest of you people. Just get it out there.
Does it make you wonder what Kevin McCarthy was whispering to him when they were voting for Kevin McCarthy? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Well, one of the things that these guys try to do is they try to leverage over people, right? They try to take things they think they can use against you, and then they try to leverage that. And that's why if you enter politics, certainly on a federal level, you've got to just walk in there and go, here's my dirt. Here's my baggage. Here's my stuff. Now what?
Right.
Now you got
can't
nothing.
use it against me.
Right. Now you got nothing.
So Mitch McConnell over the weekend said that there would be no recess appointments, and then Rick Scott came out and said, "Yeah, there will be."
Yeah. Well, and Johnson said there. So this is the thing. It's an interesting time. I know we got to get to a break, but interesting time in the Republican Party because what is our saying here? The Republicans
are ass.
That's right. The Republicans are ass, and I think people like Mike Johnson are recognizing that the Republicans are ass, that people hate the Republican brand, that people are tired of the crap, and they voted for Donald Trump. And let's give Trump what he wants. This is the guy people voted for. He wants these people to be a part of his cabinet. Now, again, unless there's something in that report about Gaetz that that he's committed some crime against humanity, a wacky sex life, and bragging about it.
Just put it out there and be done with it.
Right. Unless he is some the Night Stalker or something, then put it out there. Let the people know. Go, yeah, I had a lot of fun in my 20s and 30s. Guilty as charged. Now, can I get to my confirmation hearing, please?
Okay, we have to talk about the picture that Mike Johnson was in. And also, we're going to meet the new White House press secretary coming up from 93 WIBC.
Ah, the colors of fall. Orange.
Orange cone zone. Orange cones all over the place. This time on the north side.
Orange.
Orange barrels are up, restricting the far left lane and then switching to the right lane.
And orange.
Orange, you glad that I didn't say orange again? That's a little traffic humor.
When the colors of fall have you seen red, orange.
If I never see orange again.
Turn to Matt Baird Traffic. Mornings and afternoons on 93 WIBC.
It's Hammer and Nigel for Window Nation. Experts say that heating costs are increasing up to 23% this winter. And if your windows aren't from Window Nation, your money is literally going out the window. They have some of the best insulated windows, so your heat stays inside. And right now, get these amazing windows at 50% off.
Plus, you could save even more money with 0% interest for 5 years. Hurry, this sale ends November 30th. Schedule your fast in-home estimate right now at 866-90-NATION or go to windownation.com.
Martha was ready to switch to a career in IT.
There's always a need for IT specialists, especially with AI coming out and cybersecurity. It's practically recession-proof.
My Computer Career even provides job placement help.
The career specialists, they're very helpful. They care about you as a person. You're not just a number to them. I would recommend My Computer Career wholeheartedly to anyone.
Take the free career evaluation today. Become an IT pro in just months with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
Earn, save, grow. It's time your money works harder and goes further with a Stockyards Bank and Trust CD. For a limited time, earn 5.15 annual percentage yield with our 5-month CD special. Proudly serving our communities since 1904. Visit any of our 5 Indianapolis area locations or syb.com/IndyCD today and experience the Stockyards Bank difference. 10,000 minimum balance required. Limited time offer. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. So at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited talk, text, and data for $30 a line when you buy 2. That's just $60 a month for 2 unlimited lines. So if you're 50 and up, make the switch and save. Come on, you've earned this. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today. Requires 2 lines of service, age validation, and credit approval, subject to system and area limits, taxes, and other fees apply.
Your home is your sanctuary. Get the peace of mind you deserve with a free estimate on a Generac automatic standby generator for your home from Generator Supercenter, the nation's #1 Generac generator dealer. With expert installation and 24-hour monitoring, Generator Supercenter won't leave you in the dark. Financing is available. Take control of your power today with Generator Supercenter. Call 317-827-0808. Generator Supercenter of Indianapolis, 317-827-0808.
B's offering our Black Friday sale, 52% off, plus 10% manufacturer rebates and 18 months, no interest, no payments.
Don Jr. tweeted out the picture over the weekend. We got to talk about it. It says, "Make America Healthy Again" starts tomorrow. In the picture, you've got Elon Musk, Donald Trump, Don Jr., RFK Jr., and Mike Johnson.
Kennedy looks miserable.
Doesn't he? Well, I mean, his whole thing is make America healthy again. And they're sitting on Trump Force One. I think this picture was taken at like 2, 3 in the morning on their way back to Florida from the UFC fight in New York. And on the table there, they're all loaded up with McDonald's.
Donald Trump may be the greatest troll that has ever lived, and he is leveraging everything over these guys because they want these positions so bad, and he is just having the time of his like. He's like remember that show, is it still on, Impractical Jokers?
I don't know if it's still on.
If you've never seen the show, it was at one point a very popular show. There's 3 or 4 comedians, and one of them will go into a crowded area. He'll have an earpiece in, and the other comedians will be telling him what to say and do to these people to see how uncomfortable or outlandish, he or she can be. And then they're laughing the whole time as they're making this other comedian do this stuff. That's Trump with Kennedy. Okay, now make him eat a Big Mac.
like they're like hazing him almost.
But he does this to all of these people. I mean, look at how he has made these politicians, in some cases, the richest man in the world, bend a knee to him.
Mm-hmm.
And what an incredible story from a guy who not that long ago was facing serious criminal charges, and it was believed, man, this guy could spend his golden years in a federal prison somewhere, and now he's making the most powerful people in the world do whatever he wants.
So the picture of Robert Kennedy Jr. looking like he's crying on the inside. I mean, he's being a good sport. He's got the McDonald's, but he's like, I don't want to be here. It totally goes against his message to America.
Kennedy doesn't strike me as the sort of guy who has much personality. Now, you've dug your fingernails into his chest and you spent some time with him, but he does not strike me as a guy with a lot of personality.
He was very nice.
I didn't say he's not very nice. I'm just saying there's not a lot of, fun ski going on in his world.
You think he's a serious person?
Well, he is a weirdo. I mean, he is a weird. Like, who sees a dead bear on the side of the road and goes, I know, I'll throw it in my trunk.
Kennedy does.
Right.
Okay, well, let's talk about this for a second. Infertility rates are the highest ever. You've got early onset cancer diagnoses are up 79% over the last 3 decades. 74% of adults in America are considered overweight or obese. And health-related conditions are now the number one cause of bankruptcy in this country. So somebody, at least, is talking about making America healthy again. But then Donald Trump puts him on a plane with a big plate full of McDonald's in front of him.
Well, there's definitely a health crisis in this country, and I don't think there's any doubt that the food we eat and the food we consume is a big part of it. And the major problem that we have in this country is good food is very expensive. It's very expensive to eat healthy in this country, and many people just can't, afford to do that, and that's where inflation and all it's going to take everybody working together to come up with this solution to this.
But how about Mike Johnson in this photo? So you got the 4 guys, Don Jr., RFK Jr., Trump, and Elon Musk at the table, and then Mike Johnson looked like he's photo bombing, creeping in off the side like, hey, me too, guys, I want to be in the club. And also over the weekend at that UFC fight, Mike Johnson took a selfie with Kid Rock. Like, this guy's life has completely changed.
Other than Trump, is there anyone in that photo you'd want to hang out with?
Oh, I'd want to hang out.
Who are the people in the photo again?
It's Trump, Elon, Don Jr., RFK Jr., and Mike Johnson. I'd want to hang out with Elon. I have hung out with RFK.
You would want to. You think, like, okay, take away that Elon Musk is. Like, I'm saying who he is as a human. Take away that he's, uber rich and can buy anything he wants. You think, like, if you ran into Elon Musk at a party somewhere, you'd be like, this guy's fun? Oh, I'd love to go pound a few brews with this guy?
I don't know.
You want to watch a ball game with Elon Musk?
Well, I think his brain works differently than most people.
Yeah, he's a total weirdo.
I would want to know, like, more about that. Like,
get out of here, Casey.
He wants to colonize Mars.
Get out of here. No, I said take that away. You don't know this. I'm saying you meet this guy at a party, and you have the option of hanging out with him or anyone. Like, you would meet this weirdo. And
so you're saying I don't know how rich he is? I just got to judge.
I just said that. I said take all of that out of the equation. Like, you meet any of these people other than Trump at an event. Do any of them strike you as the sort of people you would want? Kennedy
Don Jr. probably be the most fun out of all of them.
Classic rich spoil. I mean, come on, right?
Yeah.
If Donald Trump Jr. were Donald Smith Jr. Really?
You take Trump out of the equation.
Right.
I don't know. Don Jr.'s the one who's smiling the most. He looks like he'd be the funnest out of all of them.
He was born 1 inch from home plate, Casey. Wouldn't you be smiling too?
Yes, I would. We've got some voicemails coming up. It's 93 WIBC.
Are you nearly maxed out on your credit cards? It doesn't matter if you're using your credit cards for fun or to survive. At the end of the month, your statements come in, and you can either pay them or you can't. If you can't, late fees and interest rates get tacked on. And now you're struggling just to make the minimum payment due. Do you feel trapped? Am I talking to you? Good, because I personally researched some companies that can help you. They may be able to reduce your credit card balances by 50% and stop the late fees. If you qualify, please call our special debt hotline number right now for a complimentary free 5-minute consultation. Deal with your credit card problem now before it gets much worse and put more money back in your pocket. Trust me, I've been there too. Call right now.
800-948-1659. 800-948-1659. 800-948-1659. That's 800-948-1659.
Hey, it's Rob Kendall. Join me November 21st at Hi-Fi, a celebrity bartender toast to Moselle Sanders, powered by Jack Daniels. I'll be one of the local celebrities creating a unique craft cocktail for you to enjoy. But here's the twist. You get to be the judge of who created the best cocktail. Not only will you have a great time tasting unique drinks, but you'll also be supporting the Moselle Sanders Foundation. Your tickets starting at just $20 helps us reach our goal of $10,000 to feed 10,000 people this Thanksgiving. Don't miss out. Get your tickets now at hifiindy.com.
A true partner in your health dedicates time to understanding your needs. At CenterWell Senior Primary Care, doctors make one-on-one time with you a priority, so you can get all your questions answered and feel more confident in your health care. See how it feels to have a team of senior care experts working together to help you feel your best. CenterWell, it's about time. Schedule a tour today at meetcenterwell.com. That's meetcenterwell.com.
Technology Recyclers is Indiana's best choice for computer and electronics recycling. A Hoosier veteran-owned company, Technology Recyclers is R2, Rios, and NAID certified, 100% landfill-free, and always guaretees complete data destruction. And you can expect free business pickups anywhere in Indiana at tech-recyclers.com or call 1-800-237-3887. Technology Recyclers, the official sponsors of tomorrow. That's tech-recyclers.com for a stress-free experience in recycling.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Go for launch. 61 and cloudy downtown. Showers to the west on radar. I'm Kurt Darling. Here's what's trending at 10:30. Ukraine has the green light from the U.S. to use American-made missiles on targets inside Russia. Fox's Jared Halpern.
Senior U.S. officials say President Biden is authorizing Ukraine to use U.S.-provided long-range missiles to target inside Russian territory, likely focusing on the Kursk region, where as many as 10,000 North Korean troops have joined Russian soldiers.
The United States has been clear that we would respond to that. We've been clear to the Russians that we would respond to that.
Deputy National Security Advisor John Feiner would not offer details on what that response would be, but says it is consistent with the administration's approach. Jared Halpern, Fox News.
The trial of an illegal immigrant accused of killing Georgia nursing student Laken Riley is back underway today. Her death in February of this year led to both President Biden and now President-elect Trump to make a point of mentioning the suspect's immigration status in campaign events and speeches. I'm Kirk Darling, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
The holidays are a magical time to get engaged. At Shane Company, we're here to help you create your dream engagement ring in just 3 easy steps. Choose a setting that speaks to your style. Compare diamonds and colorful gemstones in all shapes and sizes. Then personalize it with a decorative crown and special engraving. Or choose a perfectly preset ring that's ready to go. At Shane Company, you'll find everyday competitive prices, a no-pressure environment, and an unmatched free lifetime warranty. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Healthcare.gov has plans for health because you have plans for life. All plans cover doctor visits and emergency care to keep you and your family running strong. All plans cover hospital stays and prescriptions, so you can have peace of mind. Visit healthcare.gov to explore health plans from the brands you know. 4 out of 5 customers can find a health plan for $10 or less per month with financial help. Enroll at healthcare.gov by December 15th for coverage starting January 1st. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million-plus products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
See Pierce Jewelers' breathtaking selection of lab-grown diamonds, refined to perfection and value. It's the new choice in diamonds. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
You're listening to the Kendall and Casey Show on 93 WIPC. It's time to hear from you. Kendall and Casey present Voicemails. Brought to you by QC Kinetics for non-surgical regenerative medicine treatment at 317-559-PAIN.
The phone number, if you'd like to leave us a voicemail, 317-684-8444. It is time to hear from you with Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. And this first phone call is about how conservative radio is fun.
Hey, good morning, guys. Rob, good morning, Casey. Well, it looks like in that store maybe did you a little favor this weekend. Your good buddy's column mentioned the fact the reason why liberal radio does not work is because conservative radio can be fun. He's finally coming around figuring out why the heck this is the way it is. So my compliments to him. And I want to thank President Biden all at once. It looks like we're getting close to World War III. This has been covered by the news this morning, of course. And he's going to commit something like $50 billion to the rainforest. Mr. Biden, you said a peaceful transition for Mr. Trump. This is far from it.
Okay. Did you find the article that he's talking about?
I did. Okay.
Indy Star?
Yeah. So there's our buddy Briggs. He wrote a opinion. Pete Buttigieg is the Joe Rogan guest Democrats need in 2028, and it's about how the liberal podcasts aren't fun, and I don't know. I have to get into this, but he's right. There's a reason liberal media doesn't work. There's a reason. I mean, I like Briggs. He's a nice enough guy, but Starr should look in the mirror, right? There's a reason they're in trouble, and it's not their straight reporting. It's that all their opinion stuff, or the overwhelming majority of their opinion stuff, is so far left. There's a reason that Air America didn't work. There's a reason liberal talk radio doesn't work. There's a reason that when you look at downloads of liberal podcasts versus conservative ones, the numbers are not even close. And people don't want it. It's doom and gloom. It's all bad all the time. They're not having any fun. They don't sound like they're having a good time. By the way, can we just take a moment to chuckle at these people who are leaving Twitter for this? What is this? I don't even know what this
Blue
new
Sky.
thing is. These people that are like...
Another one I saw this morning, economist Michael Hicks.
Oh, great. Oh, my gosh. Boy, the Trump election did more than I could have ever even... Michael Hicks is off of Twitter?
Well, he said he was going to, give it a shot, Blue Sky. So Jennifer McCormick posted
So he may not
something.
be off Twitter. He may still be on Twitter.
But he's going to try the Blue Sky.
Twitter.
Jennifer McCormick posted something over the weekend that she was about ready. And my thought is, when is Destiny Wells going to go over there so we can go back to ignoring her? But they're all going to leave X to go to this new social media called Blue Sky, which is, I guess, liberals' answer to X. But then they're just
going to be on that.
Well, they're all going to be in an echo chamber, right? So
that's hilarious.
Just everybody confirming their thoughts on everything.
So their response to losing an election was not, wow, we didn't really, let's just take Indiana, for example, right? So their response wasn't, in the case of McCormick or Destiny Wells, wow, we really misread the electorate. We didn't talk about things that were important to them. We put all of our eggs in a basket no one cared about, which was abortion. We had extremist policies. We didn't have clear vision on things like property taxes that people actually cared about. In the case of Destiny Wells, she was wholly political in an office that calls for a non-political person. None of that, no reflection. Their response is, it's Twitter's fault, and I'm out of here. Now, having gone through this in 2020 and 2021, when conservatives were getting banned and kicked out left and right off the platform, nobody's getting kicked off Twitter now. These people are just leaving of their own accord.
On their own.
Remember, I said, you'll take me out of this app kicking and screaming because why? It's where the people are. You'd be an idiot. Who are you showing what to? Like, what, Jennifer McCormick's gone, so, oh no, Twitter's going to just cease to exist. These people are the worst. And if you're someone who's making a big deal that you're leaving Twitter for, what is it?
Blue Sky.
Then remember, what was the one a couple years ago? Threads.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I read Facebook and how'd that work out? Nobody cares. Nobody's sad that you're going. Nobody's leaving because you're leaving. Good luck in your echo chamber. All you're doing is cutting off your own nose to spite your own face.
Jennifer McCormick said, "It's time. I'm ready to make the move in the near future." So, is it time, or are you going to do it in the near future?
Hey, and whatever happened to Walter? Where is Walter, by the way? Where is Walter? What is he doing? Has he commented on the election results? Where is Walter?
We're not hearing from him anymore.
Yeah, what happened to Walter?
So, okay, bye-bye. It's not an airport gate. You don't have to announce your departure.
Yeah, when you go, just
do it.
Just go. Now, by the way, let's talk. Let's get to another voicemail. I don't want to hog the whole voicemail segment. Go ahead.
Okay, this one is about gas prices here in Indiana.
Hey, this is Kirk, the truck driver. Just past the truck stop. TA truck stop in Monrovia.
Oh.
Regular gas, $2.85. You want to know how much diesel was? $4.05.
Yeah.
Double the price for diesel, and diesel is a byproduct of gas. I really hope our new governor gets on top of these stinking taxes. This is highway robbery and price gouging at its worst. Thank you for your time.
Okay, well, that'll segue into what I was going to talk about anyway. No, Mike Braun is not going to touch the gas tax.
No, he said it's a user tax. So
that's not
on his agenda.
The Republicans in this state, and what is our saying about the Republicans? The Republicans
are
ass.
There you go.
Yeah, and it applies to the Indiana Republicans too. Are a big government, big spin brand, and that's not going to change. The gas tax is not going anywhere. Now, what may go somewhere is the property tax, and that's what we've all got to put all of our effort into. Is this upcoming session put so much pressure on these lawmakers that they have to fix the property taxes and pass Braun's property tax plan? Now, what I did want to say is that Org Day is tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
That is the organization day where all the lawmakers get together, and now there's some real things about what's going to go on with Greg Taylor, this article that came out in Indy Star, the Democrat leader in the Senate, and allegations against him. So we'll see what comes of that, whether there's a change in leadership for the Democrats. But the process is beginning of the lawmakers stripping Micah Beckwith of many of the powers that he has as the lieutenant governor. Now, I don't think it's going to be overnight. I don't think it's going to be one fell swoop, but they are beginning the process of taking back and eliminating the powers given to the lieutenant governor because they hate you. The Republicans hate you. Like I don't. We've said it a million times, but instead of heeding the warning given by the delegates, instead of heeding the warning given by the voters that actually they would really like somebody who's not going to just peddle the same message and tolerate the Republican crap. The Republican response to this is very similar to the one, remember in 2021 and 22, their response to Rainwater getting all those votes was, let's make it harder for the libertarian, to change the rules and how the libertarians get elected and force them to get signatures like everyone else. Not look in the mirror and go, wow, why did all those people leave the party? And this is what they're going to do with Micah. They're going to gut everything from ag to his ability to appoint the parliamentarian. There's a push to make the lieutenant governor a statewide elected office instead of appointed at convention. And let me tell you why they're doing this. Why they're gutting or going to gut Micah's powers. They're doing this because if you gut Micah's powers, it will gut his ability to fundraise. It will gut his ability to have influence and go out, which means no influence, no ability to raise money, which means that in a couple of years, the establishment can pick whatever underachieving toady stooge that they picked Julie McGuire in this year, and they'll be able to put $5 million or $10 million or however many millions of dollars they want behind him and run a statewide race, and they'll cut off Micah's ability to fundraise, and then they'll be able to get this office back. I'm not saying it's going to happen overnight. I'm saying it'll be a slow burn. I think you'll see things in the upcoming session that codify this, and we'll see how Micah handles it. Maybe Micah's fine with that. Maybe Micah doesn't want the power. Maybe Micah won't clap back. Maybe it's no big deal to Micah. I don't know, but I'm telling you right now exactly what is in the process of happening and what's going to happen. Now, all of that said, if Braun passes his property tax plan and universal school choice,
yeah,
I don't care at all.
You're good with it.
But we're going to decide how this relationship works going forward based on what they do and what they pass.
Something interesting, you mentioned this article in Indy Star, the headline, Indiana Senate Minority Leader Greg Taylor accused of sexual harassment by 3 women. And they go on to say that this has been going on since he was elected to the General Assembly in 2008. Why is it coming out now?
Well, it is interesting because wasn't he just reelected? And where was the Indy Star
then
on
before
this when he was running for reelection? Now, look, it's a long article. You can read it for yourself. Maybe we'll get into it later today or tomorrow. It came out this morning, so we kind of already had everything planned for today, and maybe that'll be a good org day topic. I don't know if there's any smoking gun in here. I don't think this guy was Thomas Carl Cook. If the allegations are true, it was certainly inappropriate workplace behavior for someone with influence to be pressuring or badgering people who are under him, and that is inappropriate. But he's not, it doesn't appear that there was any sexual impropriety in terms of him. The allegations that are made against Thomas Carl Cook are not the same allegations being made against Greg. It's a long article, though. If you'd like to waste several minutes of your day, please wait until noon. We don't care what you do during Cats.
All right, we've got Jason Hammer who's going to join us next. It's 93 WIBC.
This winter, cozy up with a match made in cocoa heaven. Introducing Swiss Miss Schmallow, the perfect pairing of Schmallow, the original toasted marshmallow whiskey from Hotel Tango Distillery, and Swiss Miss Hot Cocoa. You've tried Schmallow before. Now Hotel Tango Distillery is taking it up a notch with this fantastic collaboration with Swiss Miss. Imagine rich, creamy cocoa swirling with a hint of toasted marshmallow warmth. It's a sip of comfort like no other. From cold weather gatherings to quiet nights in, Swiss Miss Schmallow is here to add a touch of sweet nostalgia with an adult twist. Warm up your season. Grab Swiss Miss Schmallow before it's gone. Find it at your local store and toast to the taste of winter. Swiss Miss Schmallow, where cozy meets a little bit of kick. Sip responsibly. Must be 21 or older to purchase alcohol. Available where fine spirits are sold. HotelTangoDistillery.com.
Hey, Bill, where you been? You're overdue for a haircut.
Man, listen, my water pipes burst and flooded my house. Place is a mess. I've been staying with my daughter till I can figure out what to do.
You trying to fix it and move back in?
No way. It's too big a mess. It'll cost me tens of thousands of dollars. I ain't got that kind of money.
You trying to sell it then?
Well, that's what I'd like to do, but who's going to buy my house in this condition?
Did you call Simple Quarters?
Simple Quarters?
Simple Quarters bought our house when we were in a jam. We needed to move real quick. They closed fast and gave us cash.
Simple Quarters will buy in any condition?
That's right. They buy as is. You don't have to repair anything or clean anything out. It's simple.
What do I have to do?
Just call them. They'll do a quick walkthrough, then they'll make you an offer.
Simple Quarters is a local Christian company that loves to help people in difficult situations. Call Simple Quarters at 317-900-HOME. That's 317-900-HOME. Check us out at simplequarters.com.
Pat Sullivan here for the Michaelis Corporation. I'm here with Michaela to talk about water damage. Water damage at your home or business can come from heavy rains, broken or frozen pipes, and countless other ways. Michaela, if someone has a loss due to water, why should they call Michaelis?
Michaelis is a local, family-owned Indianapolis company with 39 years' experience. We are manning the phones and ready to help 24/7, 365. Michaelis specializes in water damage restoration, is IICRC certified, and will restore your home or business to pre-loss condition or better.
I know a big part of getting back to normal is dealing with the insurance company. Can Michaelis help there?
Yes, Michaelis works through the entire process on your behalf to make it easy and give you peace of mind.
If you have water damage, call the Michaelis Corporation. Water, storms, fire, and mold, life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it. Text or call 844-FIXED-INDY. That's 844-FIXED-INDY. Make it Michaelis.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-444-9336. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-444-9336. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-444-9336. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-444-9336. 800-444-9336.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million-plus products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Trans-Siberian Orchestra is making its way back to Gamebridge Fieldhouse on December 19th with an all-new show, The Lost Christmas Eve Tour. For tickets and more information, head to WIBC.com.
There he is from the #1 rated Hammer and Nigel show, Jason Hammer in the studio. Good morning.
Good morning, and I want to jump in a conversation you guys had earlier.
Yeah.
So you were talking about of that picture of the politicos that were at the UFC fight. Which one would you hang out at a party? Now, we're not counting Kid Rock, right? Like,
no, he wasn't in the picture.
Okay.
On the airplane.
Okay, on the airplane. Okay. So I think the answer would be Don Jr.
Yeah,
for
that's what
me.
I said.
Because Mike Johnson, and we were talking about this off the air, he seems like the kind of guy that would call the cops on the party, right? If you walk into a party, yeah, I believe there are some underage people here, and we're going to call the police. He's the narc.
Yeah.
Eric's, no, I don't want any of those people. But I've spoken with Don Jr., and it feels like, again, of this group, we're not saying he's, all of a sudden, Steve McQueen here, but you see him at a party, I think Don Jr.'s the one that's at the keg. He's saying inappropriate things. He's talking smack. He's probably overserved and he's a little loud. That's kind of my wheelhouse. I feel like if I brought the celebrity beer bong into a party,
he would do it.
Like, he would be in line. It's like, you know what? Fill that damn thing up. Let's go.
Kind of ruined Kimberly Guilfoyle, though.
Did he, or was that just the aftershock of being married to Gavin Newsom?
Yeah, but she was married to Gavin Newsom a long time ago. And, I mean, you remember... I mean, I vaguely remember because I don't notice people's appearances anymore.
Correct.
But the side thigh on the five, her and Tanteros.
Yeah. By the way, where's Tanteros?
She popped back up on Twitter a little while ago, and there was no big announcement or anything. We used to have a bit with the women called "Where in the World is Andrea Tanteros?"
Right.
Because if you remember the Fox at 5, they had
right when that show got rolling.
Yeah, they had her and Guilfoyle on the side of the panel around the table.
And they called it thigh side.
Yeah. Team side thigh. And she just disappeared. She got into it with people at Fox. I think she accused some people of bad behavior.
She was in a relationship with Dave Navarro, I think.
Right, she was.
So she didn't announce her departure?
She just left. And then she's randomly, like, after years, popped up like Tom Hanks in that Castaway movie or whatever.
People were concerned for her well-being.
She just and she disappeared, like, off social media, everything, and then she randomly started tweeting again. I have to check here in a little bit and see if she's back.
She had a book out where it's like she's in like bondage stuff. It's called Shackled or something, right?
Sure, right.
Do a Google search on that, and the magazine cover's pretty
At
hot.
work.
But then you're right, she just fell off the face of the earth.
But anyway, Guilfoyle, that was years after she'd been married to Gavin. She went downhill when she got connected with Donald Trump Jr. He did something to her.
I'm not trying to get into a relationship with Donald Trump Jr. I don't think my behavior is going to be affected. Yeah. I'm just saying, if we crash a wedding, Rob, which we've been known to do,
right,
and he's hanging out at the bar and he's watching the college football game as we wait for the wedding party to arrive, I think we'd have a fun conversation with Junior.
Maybe you could be right. Now, I did look at that photo and I thought none of these people get my life at all, though. I mean, can we just agree that none of these people actually, for whatever huffing and puffing they want to do, none of these people understand my my existence. Like nobody understands. Hey, I got to do. Okay, so this weekend, what did I do? I cleaned the house. I did laundry. I did stuff with the yard. I had to change the iron filter.
Well, it looks like Mike Johnson would be the only one who's ever actually checked the balance of his bank account.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, none of these people understand anything about my existence.
But I would make like a cheap Johnson joke to him, and he would just kind of roll his eyes and walk away. Like, I think Don Jr. would point and laugh at it, and that's the kind of guy I want to be around.
Yeah.
Now, Rob, also, I know this is going to be tough for you because you don't notice others' opinion, but there's a question we've got on the Hammer and Nigel Show Twitter right now, at Hammer and Nigel. So over the weekend, everybody's talking about this Sydney Thomas girl that was the ring card girl at the Jake Paul fight.
And how about all these other girls who got ignored?
Hold on. Time's a factor here, so we got to get to this. Hold on. So if you had access to a time machine, okay, Rob, think about this. I know it's tough because you don't look at appearances, but you had access to a time machine.
Yeah.
And you could spend a night with one of these hot namesakes from any decade. Would it be the hot Heathers of the 80s, a night with Heather Locklear and Heather Thomas, the hot Jennifers of the 90s, Aniston and Love Hewitt, or the hot Sydneys of today, Sydney Thomas, Sydney Sweeney? You're a single man, you're probably 24 years old, you've got access to a time machine. Heathers, Jennifers, or Sydneys, go.
Kev.
I'm going to go with the Jennifers.
Jennifers, okay.
Casey.
But you know what? I would love to hang out with all of these ladies.
What a hedge.
No, I'm going to go with the Jennifers as well.
Man, the Sydneys are strong. The Sydneys are coming to the table pretty strong.
I mean, that's your DeChambeau Brooks Koepka Ryder Cup pairing right there, right?
Right.
Like that's your A team.
Right. If you're looking for sex appeal, maybe it's the 80s with Locklear and Thomas. A lot of our audience probably grew up with the Jennifers of the 90s.
I just think Jennifer Aniston is so boring. She strikes me as so boring, doesn't she? I mean, she just comes off as someone who you would just, once you got past the fact that you were with Jennifer Aniston, you would hate your existence.
I'm not saying you're going to marry these women. I'm saying you got one night to do Rob Kendall stuff. Debauchery, talking tax reform, boring the piss out of them.
Threatened to turn their water off.
Whining about losing bets. Rob Kendall stuff. The Sydneys bring to the table the things that I'm interested in, and I'm going to leave it at that.
Yeah, I think I'm with you on that. I don't think it's even close. I don't think it's
most people, like on the things that I've posted, are going with the Heathers.
Nostalgia, though. Women are more attractive now. Like top tier women are more attractive today than they were in the 70s and 80s. It's not even close, right?
And Casey answered this question, and my wife and I have actually talked about this. You watch movies from like the late 70s to 80s to now. Why were 70s boobs so pointy?
Shape of the bra has changed.
Is that what it is?
Well, yeah.
70s boobs were different.
Yeah, there
and
weren't
I don't
sports
know what
bras
it is.
in the 70s.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, but you're right. Makeup and hair techniques have improved a lot, so women have more to.
I'm not looking at the makeup.
I had somebody who's years ago tell me it was the hormones in the food. That's why they're more attractive.
Oh, that's
Let's get
probably
RFK
true
on
as
this.
Well, yeah. What's coming up today?
Monday Gun Day with Guy Relford, and we're going to have a lot of fun today.
Thanks, Hammer. It's Kendall Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
Hey, y'all. It's Mindy Winkler. Transitions Indy's FDA-approved laser treatments and PRP work. No more hair extensions damaging my hair. Thanks to Transitions, I have thicker, longer, beautiful hair again. And they've helped my husband Bob with his thinning hair. If your hair is thinning, don't wait. Call Transitions right now, 317-522-2991. And here's why. You can lose up to 50% of your hair before you even notice it. Will Sadler, Clinic Director of Transitions, can help you.
Transitions Indy has over 20 years of experience restoring hair. We will find the solutions that will work for you. Clients can see results in as little as 3 months.
Transitions has the latest technology for men and women. So go to transitionsindy.com or call 317-522-2991. That's 317-522-2991 for a free hair and scalp analysis and get 2 weeks of treatments free. Take it from me. Don't wait.
Hi, I'm Mark Turney, a retired Army First Sergeant with over 25 years of service. I get my health care at Veteran Health Indiana, and couldn't be happier. Learn about the benefits that we have all earned for our service. By joining the VA, you are supporting all our brothers and sisters who need our support.
Did you serve in the U.S. military? You need to learn about the veterans' health benefits that could be available to you. Visit vacares.us. That's vacares.us.
One of the real advantages that we have here at Hendricks is the scope of the services that we have to offer in orthopedics.
Whether they have a hip fracture or they're a high-functioning athlete, we're all working towards the same thing.
To have them be able to have an elective surgery safely and then go home also in a safe fashion is of utmost importance.
We very much want everyone to get back to doing everything that they were doing beforehand. We're really invested in it.
Unstoppable orthopedic care. Learn more at hendricks.org/ortho.
Hey guys, it's Rob Kendall. Give back November 21st at Hi-Fi. Get tickets to a celebrity bartender toast to Moselle Sanders, powered by Jack Daniels. A night of community, Jack Daniels cocktails, and fighting food insecurity. Sample signature cocktails crafted by celebrity bartenders, all working to help raise $10,000 to feed 10,000 people this Thanksgiving through the Moselle Sanders Foundation. Tickets start at $20, with all proceeds benefiting Moselle Sanders Foundation's mission to support families in need. Get tickets at hifiindy.com.
The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in more places that could expose you more to identity theft. But LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our US-based restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Don't face drained accounts, fraudulent loans, or financial losses alone. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Don't you deserve healthcare you can count on? Well, you can count on United Healthcare with Medicare plans that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. You can enjoy reliable coverage and low out-of-pocket costs with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. United Healthcare Medicare Advantage plans. Made for Indianapolis, trusted everywhere. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today.
BW HVAC Plumbing and Electrical is here to make the fall cozy, comfortable, and hassle-free. Go to b+w.com/radio to schedule your appointment today. B&W is your independent American Standard Air dealer.
B's offering our Black Friday sale, 52% off, plus 10% manufacturer rebates and 18 months, no interest, no payments.
Coming up in 2 minutes, you're in for a wet week, but what else that may mean with falling temperatures. Plus, an arrest finally made in a double murder that happened back in August, and what the body cam footage shows of a shooting in Gary. That and more coming up from the Technology Recyclers Studios. You're listening to 93 WYBC, WYBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 11 o'clock.
He's planning to declare a national emergency. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. President-elect Trump appeared to confirm that in a post on Truth Social to carry out his vowed mass deportation of immigrants who came to the U.S. illegally. He wrote "Pride True" in all caps with 3 exclamation points to a post that said the incoming Trump administration is preparing to declare the emergency and use military assets.
Trump is likely to enact a series of executive orders right away, which could end parole for some migrants from places like Cuba, Venezuela. Trump's incoming border czar insists this, however, will be a targeted approach.
That's Fox's Mark Meredith.
Over the weekend, Democrats said this is not about national security, it's about the economy. That's the new message coming off the Hill, is that mass deportations could mean higher prices. Multiple Democratic governors are also vowing to block any wide-ranging federal deportation program.
President Biden's gathered with world leaders in a summit of G20 countries in Brazil with Russia's invasion of Ukraine a big topic.
The United States strongly supports Ukraine's sovereignty and territorial integrity. Everyone around this table, in my view, should as well.
This is the day after the president authorized Ukraine to use long-range American missiles striking deep inside Russia in the Kursk region. Fox's Lucas Tomlinson reports from the summit in Rio.
North Korean forces have deployed to this area of Kursk up to 10,000 ultimately, according to the latest intelligence. Now, Biden's decision to use these longer-range missiles comes one day after Russia launched one of its largest attacks on Ukraine since the start of this war, firing over 200 missiles and drones targeting Ukraine's energy infrastructure.
Those attacks have also killed at least 21 people. As Israel keeps battling Iran-backed militants, families of Americans killed in the October 7th terror attack last year that triggered the war in Gaza are suing Iran and its groups in court.
46 U.S. citizens were killed on that day. 12 were taken hostage, of which 3 are now presumed dead. The suit is predicated on documents recovered from Gaza detailing how Hamas leaders requested $7 million from Iran's regime to carry out the terror attack.
Evan Brown, America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Dare we say it? Snow. Cloudy and 61 downtown. I'm Kirk Darling. Here's what's trending at 11:02. Temperatures are going to cool off later this week as rain showers are expected throughout. Cody Moore with the National Weather Service.
So we're going to expect mostly rain. However, Wednesday night into Thursday into Friday, that's where things get a little tricky. It looks like there will be enough cold air for many areas to see their first snowflakes of the season.
He says that will be for much of central and northern Indiana. An arrest made in a double murder that happened back in August. It was on the east side when Jayshawn Johnson and little Armani Booker were shot to death in the parking lot of a strip mall on Shadeland. Armani was just 3 years old. William Pascal Young has been arrested and charged with 2 counts of murder. A person on a bicycle died in a crash Sunday afternoon on the south side. John Herrick.
It was just before 3 o'clock Sunday afternoon when IMPD says the person on the motorcycle was going north on Emerson Avenue when a separate car was traveling south. The cops believe the car made a left turn, and that's when the collision happened, and the person on the motorcycle later died. Officers say the driver stayed at the scene and has been cooperating with them. On the south side of Indianapolis, John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
He was the suspect of robberies related to online marketplace purchases.
You got the cash, sir? Yeah. Okay. Everything's good with it? Yes, sir. Oh, okay. I appreciate it. It's all up in there. Can I check it out? Yeah, go ahead.
That's body camera footage of an undercover officer meeting Shahad Richmond to buy a PlayStation in Gary last week. Soon after that, Richmond is seen on the video pulling out a machete and swinging it at the head of the officer. Other officers in the area then shot Richmond, killing him. The bye week is over for the Indiana football Hoosiers. They remain 5th in the AP Top 25. Notre Dame is up to 6th after their trouncing victory over Virginia on Saturday. The new college football playoff rankings come out tomorrow. I'm Kirk Darling, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
One of the joys of working with Radio 1 has been that they actually listen.
How can a partnership with WIBC serve your business?
My name's Jake Stamper. I'm the president and CEO of Sagacity Consulting, a full-service marketing and advertising firm.
Communication.
I choose to work with Radio 1 because I have such respect for their ability to achieve a goal. We have served manufacturers to not-for-profits to retail, and the privilege that we have in working with Radio 1 is that they listen to the problems that we're trying to solve or the goals that we want to achieve, which each one of those very vast clients.
Deliver your message to the audience that matters.
My clients have been extraordinarily happy over the last 20 years with the results produced by Radio 1.
Text business to 71007 to take your advertising to the next level.
Radio 1 does a phenomenal job at connecting with the community on every level.
Get results with WIBC.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
Good morning. It is Monday, November 18th. It's 5 minutes after 11. You're listening to Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. So the hosts of MSNBC's Morning Joe say that they met with Donald Trump at Mar-a-Lago. They went down there on Friday, first time in 7 years, and they have, quote, agreed to open lines of communication despite disagreements on many issues.
Wait. Now, they've called this guy a fascist, and they've compared him to Hitler, and what... So
a threat to democracy.
Sure, yeah. I mean, they're a little vicious group of mothers over there on Morning Joe. And you're telling me they went and met with Adolf Hitler?
They actually flew to him. They went down there.
Okay, so of course, do we have the audio of this?
Yeah, we do. You want to hear it?
Can we listen to this?
Yeah, here we go.
Over the past week, Joe and I have heard from so many people, from political leaders to regular citizens, deeply dismayed by several of President-elect Trump's cabinet selections, and they are scared. Last Thursday, we expressed our own concerns on this broadcast and even said we would appreciate the opportunity to speak with the president-elect himself. On Friday, we were given the opportunity to do just that. Joe and I went to Mar-a-Lago to meet personally with President-elect Trump. It was the first time we have seen him in 7 years.
Now, we talked about a lot of issues, including abortion, mass deportation, threats of political retribution against political opponents, and media outlets. We talked about that a good bit. And it's going to come as no surprise to anybody who watches this show, has watched it over the past year or over the past decade, that we didn't see eye to eye on a lot of issues, and we told him so.
What we did agree on was to restart communications.
Okay. What they did agree on is that their ratings stink. And they're calling for a complete surrender. Please come back on our show.
Trump is just loving every single second of it. And whether it's that meeting with Biden or these two idiots, I mean, they're showing you what they are, that none of this was real. You've been played. You've been played by the Democrats, by the mainstream national media, and they worked the gimmick. I mean, it's pro wrestling, right? They worked the gimmick. They worked the bit until it didn't work anymore. And clearly the American people have now seen through it. Look at their ratings. Look at, Comcast wanting no part of them anymore. I mean, look at what's been going on here with MSNBC. Look at these shows. I mean, they were averaging, I was reading an article this morning, they were averaging 736,000 viewers in a country of 330 million people. That's pathetic. And they now recognize the ship has sailed, and they're trying to salvage whatever they have left, but they didn't mean any of it. They didn't mean any of it.
No, they're complete frauds, and they're just trying to, save their paycheck at this point, keep under contract. What did they agree on? They want to restart communications. In other words, they want access.
Yeah, and look, like I said, it came out, I think that Comcast was going to sell MSNBC. This network's a dumpster fire. CNN's a dumpster fire. They don't connect with but the smallest portion of Americans, total radical leftists, and they're not going to change. They're not going to come in and overhaul the network or the people on it, which is what you need to do in order to make it something people would consistently want to watch or be interested in. They're a political arm. They're a political arm of the Democrat Party, and these two have been the most vicious, mean, nasty people. And now that, they see where the tea leaves are now. And by the way, I love liberal Twitter is crushing them, and I love every second of it.
Yeah, so Scarborough called Trump Hitler, called him a serial rapist, and what? Now they're just going to all chill together by the beach? Well, no, the show must go on.
But it also does
That's
show
what they're thinking.
Trump's a worker too, though, because look, Trump lives to see his name. He doesn't necessarily live to see his name in a positive sense. He lives to see his name. And he's fine with whatever. If people said these things about you, they're not sorry. They're not sorry. They're not. It's not like they, had some. They're not the Grinch. They're not the whose their heart grew 10 sizes that day. They're people trying to save their jobs. And if you're Trump, how could you possibly say this is okay and give them the time of day when you know they're not really sorry? Trump's in on the work too. It's all a work. And this is what people need. Look, will Trump be better for the country than Joe Biden? Of course. Absolutely. And everybody who voted for Trump did the right thing. But it's like what I said in the last segment with Hammer. These people don't know your experience. They don't care about your experience. They're not actually motivated by helping you. There are things they may do may end up bettering your existence, but don't get fooled into the fact of being wholly invested in these people that they're somehow fighting for you. They're fighting for themselves. They're fighting for their own existence, and this is just proof on both sides.
Yeah, I mean, they literally went down there to bend the knee. It's not journalism at all. The whole thing is pathetic. And
do you think they would have done this if Trump had lost?
Absolutely not.
Okay, and Trump knows this, right? So it's not like they're genuinely sorry. It's not forgiveness based on this person is genuinely sorry, and so, okay, I forgive you, and let's build some bridges. They're not sorry. And they'll do it to him again if they thought they could get away with it. So it is everybody. It's everybody. It's no different than that fight. It's no different than that fight on Friday night. Tyson and Paul were working together, right? Paul wasn't going to kill Tyson, and Tyson got several opportunities to knock Jake Paul out, and he didn't take it. It was everybody working. It's the same thing here.
They're all working together. CNN is in even worse position. On November 11th, so a week ago, they recorded their lowest ratings in the 25 to 54 money demo in 25 years. Only 61,000 viewers.
Why would anyone watch those networks?
Yeah.
Right? No, I mean, there is no answer unless you are just a total radical leftist who wants to be in an echo chamber. It's like those people leaving, going to that, whatever that social media thing is now. No one's going to see you. And by the way, these were the same people that when Trump started Truth Social Media, they just laughed and laughed and laughed. And, oh, I can't believe, you're going to the echo chamber. But when it's them, I'm going to this new thing.
Right. It's fine if we do it.
And my favorite one of the people that are going to this, whatever it's called now, is I'm not leaving here for good, but I'm going to spend some more time over here.
I'm just going to check it out, see what it's like. Well, you're not going to face any opposition, and that's what it'll be like. Okay, so over the weekend, actually it was on Friday, Donald Trump named Caroline Leavitt as his campaign press secretary. She was his campaign press secretary. She's now going to serve as his White House.
Boy, you want to look up thankless job in the dictionary and a job you probably won't be in for very long. That'd be the job she just took.
Would you want that job? Tony Katz says that he would love that job.
No. Casey, we've been through this many times. I don't want any other jobs than the one I have right now. And that job sounds like a lot of work and a lot of headaches. So I have neither of those right now.
For a while there was talk that Alina Habba who is Trump's lawyer, was possibly going to get tapped to be the White House press secretary, but instead they've named Caroline Leavitt. She's 27 years old. She will be the youngest press secretary in history, and Trump has praised her performance, saying that she's smart, tough, and a highly effective communicator.
And look, I know we've hit this at the top of the hour each hour. I am blown away by this. Netflix stock, despite having the most disastrous of performances on Friday, is somehow up $18.05, 2.2%. This blows my mind. I cannot fathom how you could suck, how you could totally just blow it. Everybody's pissed off at you, and your stock is continuing to skyrocket. Like I am blown away by this.
So I'm wondering if Peter Doocy is going to miss Karine Jean-Pierre.
How are you doing with all of this, Karine?
You care about how I feel?
Are you going to stick around for a potential President Harris administration?
Oh my goodness! Let me just get through the day. Can I just get through today?
I do have some other questions.
No, I think that's good. I think we're good.
Karine.
So
how are you doing?
I'm also wondering if this means that Jen Psaki's going to leave MSNBC.
Well, she got a contract. Where's she going to go? Where would you go?
Right.
Hey, when we come back,
you want to talk about?
Can
what's
I read
going
this
on
letter?
Brownsburg?
This letter that I got over. I mean, look, and it sounds like other people in other communities are getting a similar letter about, hey, there could be lead in your water.
Maybe
not.
Maybe
we don't know. We wish you the best. If you'd like to know more information, here you can call us. And I mean, this is why people hate the government. Everything about this letter that I got over the weekend, and it sounds like in other communities, people are getting them too. Let's discuss this when we come back, shall we?
Unknown pipe material coming up from 93 WIBC.
The colors of fall. Orange.
Orange cone zone. Orange cones all over the place. This time on the north side.
Orange.
Orange barrels are up, restricting the far left lane and then switching to the right lane.
And orange.
Orange, you glad that I didn't say orange again? That's a little traffic humor.
When the colors of fall have you seen red, orange.
If I never see orange again.
Turn to Matt Baird Traffic. Mornings and afternoons on 93 WIBC.
What does the joy of Christmas mean to you? A gift? Time with family? Decorations and traditions? At Shepherd Community, the joy of Christmas is learning to read, feeling safe and loved, finding a stable job, and having a community that cares. Shepherd gives its neighbors gifts of joy and hope for a brighter future. You can give the joy of Christmas to neighbors living in poverty, not just at the holidays, but all year long. Visit caringatchristmas.org/give. That's caringatchristmas.org/give.
Discover cancer care that empowers you at Community Health Network MD Anderson Cancer Center by offering the expert, compassionate care you need.
When I was at my lowest, I would have 2 or 3 nurses come in to give me a pep talk, telling me it's okay to feel this way. It's normal, but you have us to support you and you will get through this.
Learn more at ecommunity.com/cancer.
I've been a loyal Window Nation customer for a number of years now, been saving money on my energy bills. In fact, experts are saying heating costs are going to increase up to 23% this winter, and that's why you need Window Nation windows, which, by the way, are 50% off.
I'm a Window Nation customer, and with this deal, you can be a Window Nation customer. 0% interest for 5 years, but you got to hustle. This deal ends November 30th. 866-90-NATION. Call today or go to windownation.com.
Hey, Pat Sullivan here with my friend Jack Hope, owner of Hope Plumbing. Jack, at the Sullivan House, we can't deal with any last-minute plumbing emergencies around the holidays. What do you suggest to get ready?
It's important to get your branch lines cleared because it could prevent a major disaster at some point over the holidays. And for the month of November, we have a $99 branch line clearing special for all your faithful listeners.
You heard them. Call Hope Plumbing for a $99 branch line clearing and get your home prepped for all the holiday fun.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. So at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited talk, text, and data for $30 a line when you buy 2. That's just $60 a month for 2 unlimited lines. So if you're 50 and up, make the switch and save. Come on, you've earned this. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today. Requires 2 lines of service, age validation, and credit approval, subject to system and area limits, taxes, and other fees apply.
Be's offering our Black Friday sale, 52% off, plus 10% manufacturer rebates, and 18 months, no interest, no payments.
If you ever visit Rob Kendall, don't drink his water. There could be unknown pipe material coming out of the spout.
This letter I got over the weekend is just everything about why everyone hates government and why the people in it should just be totally ashamed of themselves. And I've heard now from several people in other communities that they have received similar letters. And I'm at the point with my existence now at 40 years old where I know my government's never going to be good. Like, I never know I'm going to get like actual value for my money from my government. The only thing I expect from the government at this point, and I know it's a stretch and I'll never get this either, is just be honest and transparent with me. Just tell me how my money's being spent and just tell me what's going on with my money. And like where I live in Warehouseburg, which, by the way, if you need a high density housing development or a warehouse, Brownsburg is definitely the place for you. And they've really melded it together, Casey, where they've put the warehouses and the high-density housing developments
right next to each other,
right?
Yeah.
Like a couple of meetings ago, I went and asked some simple questions about the budget. Like, I'd like to know how my money's being spent, and got just berated by.
Are you supposed to know that?
Well, I was like, I'd like to know why these things and what's going on with these things. And then I got berated. And when they were forced to answer my questions, the town manager acted as though someone had just told her she's about to have serious dental work before they forced the answer. So I get this, I get this letter in the mail, and it says, notice of unknown water service line pipe material.
Oh.
Dear drinking water customer. Now, keep in mind, they basically doubled the water and sewer rates over the past 7 or 8 years because they were supposed to be making the water better. It goes on to tell me that, additionally, we're required to inform and notify customers if their service line contains lead pipe material. Now, apparently, this is some deal from the state, that the state passed some law that if there's any amount of lead in your
they have to let you know
drinking water, that they have to let you know, which seems like a reasonable thing, right? But this notice is, and I know this stuff. Like, I was in the government. I know how to read the government documents. And I'm looking at this going, I have no idea what this says, what it means. It's written by some attorney in the most nondescriptive way possible.
Almost like that's intentional.
Yeah, right? Like, it's like, okay, if you've discovered something in my water that I need to know about.
We're going to make it hard for you to understand.
Tell me what it is. What action do I need to take? What are the things I have to do? And so you read this and you're reading this and you're still reading it and there's nothing, because clearly they must have found something. And then finally in paragraph 1, 2, 3, 4, I'll just read it so people don't accuse me of making this up. So keep in mind, it's the 4th paragraph down. They're finally going to tell me, air quote, what it is. And then, Casey, the onus then becomes on me to take the action, right?
Got it.
The Water Utility Department has been working to identify service line materials throughout the water system. It has been determined that either a portion of or the entire water pipe, called a service line, that connects to the water main is made from, quote, unknown pipe material. Please contact us if you are interested in aiding us in the identification of your customer-side water Yes, I'm interested in knowing what it is. But why the hell would you need to ask?
But now you got to contact them.
Yeah, you call us.
We'll let you know.
We thought this was relevant enough that we're going to send this letter. I guess it went to the entire town.
Preemptive letter. Like, hey, we were warning you. That's a CYA letter right there.
And I contacted was in contact with not one but 2 members of the governing body of this community. And you know what both of them did? I don't know what this is about. You're sending a letter. You're the town, I guess the town manager sent this out. You're the town manager for the community. You send in a letter. I guess it went to the entire town. I talked to multiple other people who got the letter. And you're not informing. It's talking about unknown pipe material.
Maybe.
We're referencing lead.
Maybe.
Oh, and then on the back, he gives me steps you can take to reduce lead in drinking water. How much lead is in the drinking water? You're not telling the people who are in charge, and the people in charge are so inept that they allow this from the people running. And then people in other communities are like, I got a letter like this too. Right. These are the people that are running our communities. These are the people that are in charge. These are the people who were led to believe if there's any sort of property tax reform whatsoever, that the world would cease to end. They can't even send out shouldn't the letter say, look, we're required. I could do this in 1 paragraph.
Okay.
We are required by the state to send you this letter. We have tested the water. We don't see anything wrong with the water. However, there's something connecting to your water line that we haven't been able to identify. We'd like to investigate. We need your permission to do this. May we do this? Please call us at this number and let's get this organized. How hard was that, Casey?
It was pretty easy. Okay, so you need to go full Aaron Brockovich on this, and you need to call that number.
Well, I've got to call this guy, Frank. I got to call Frank because it's on me to do this.
Of course.
So I'm going to call Frank later today and send Frank an email. In fact, I may do this during the break and let Frank know, yeah, I'd like to know what the hell is in my water and the water line and know if there's anything I need to do. Thanks, Frank.
Well, it sounds like they don't know what's in the water line. This is all preemptive. This is just cover your butt.
I just like English, transparency and English. And this is what pisses people off. It's not the thing. It's how you go out of your way to avoid telling us what the thing is and the accountability for the thing. And it sounds like it's happening in other communities too. And it's like just a total, they're going out of their way to not be transparent. English, 1 paragraph, English. Here's the thing. Here's what you need to know. If you want us to work with you on this, here's what you need to do. Thank you.
Sounds like you might need a water filtration system.
Well, I have an iron filter. I have a water softener. I mean, but what am I paying all this money for?
Right.
If the water is this
up.
bad and the rates keep going up, what are we paying all the money for? And then to ask 2 people, 2 of the 5 who are in 40% of the town government, and they just go,
we don't know.
I don't know. I'll have to get back to you. I don't expect my government to do much. The police, the fire, the roads, the water, the sewer. I pay all of this money, and you can't even get one of the few things that I expect right. And now it's on me, Casey.
Yep.
It's on me to figure it out.
There's unknown pipe material in the water. Maybe. You gotta love that.
You and your family could be in mortal danger, or it could be no problem whatsoever.
Maybe we don't know. We don't know. We'll get back to you. No, and as a matter of fact, no. If you want to know if you're in danger, you call us.
I've thought about for a while making this offer to the town of Brownsburg and see if you think they would take me up on this.
Yeah.
Okay, you hate me and I hate you. There's nothing more that you would like than to desperately get me out of your community, and there's nothing more that I would like than to desperately get out of the community.
Yeah.
I'm going to set a premium price on my property.
I was going to say, you're going to sell?
And it's going to be a premium. But how much would it really be worth to you to have me off your ass? And I'll even sign a document saying I won't come back for a period of time. Look, you got to pay a little bit, but how much would it be worth to you to ensure that I leave and never come back?
You know what? They could put the aquatic center there.
That's right. You put whatever you want there. I don't care at this point. I just so desperately want to get out of this place because I'm so sick of the people who are running this place. But it sounds like it's happening everywhere else. So now I've just got to go into an unincorporated area somewhere in the forest.
But you know what? Speaking of that, though, I mean, doesn't this shed a whole new light on what the aquatic center could be? Maybe that center will have unknown pipe material.
Everybody
in the
that
water.
if they had any shame, I would say these people should be just mortified. But these people who run the place, they have no shame.
They don't care.
Just par for the course, right?
Yeah.
In my case, maybe they're pumping the lead in.
From other communities?
Just to Kendall's house.
Right, and it's just going to your house. No, it's not, because other people got the letter as well.
Well, and like I said, again, English, right? Why can the government not? You don't need an attorney to write this. I'm the customer. The other people are the customers. Just be honest. Here's the thing. Here's what we think we should do. If you'd like us to do that, we're happy to do it. Thanks. Goodbye.
Well, they most likely they don't want it to turn into another Flint water crisis issue. So here's the slow drip.
Here's old Frank and I are going to have a fun conversation.
Well, you have to let us know what he has to say. It is Kendall Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
It's starting to be fall in Indiana, the perfect time to tackle home projects you've been putting off before winter arrives. With Moss Roofing by your side, you don't have to do it alone. They're ready to assist with your roofing and siding needs, ensuring your home is safe and ready for the holidays. Let Moss Roofing, M-O-S-S, mossroofing.com, give your home a serious glow-up with premium James Hardy siding, tough enough to face Indiana's wild weather and stylish enough to turn heads on your block. And the best part, their free inspections come with a 3D design preview so you could see your home's stunning makeover before the work begins. Contact Moss Roofing for a job done right every single time at Moss Roofing, M-O-S-S, mossroofing.com, or call 317-747-3665. Moss Roofing, 317-747-3665. That's 747-3665. Or online at Moss, M-O-S-S, mossroofing.com. And don't forget, tell them Tony Katz sent you.
Hey, y'all, it's Mindy Winkler. Transitions Indy's FDA-approved laser treatments and PRP work. No more hair extensions damaging my hair. Thanks to Transitions, I have thicker, longer, beautiful hair again. And they've helped my husband Bob with his thinning hair. If your hair is thinning, don't wait. Call Transitions right now, 317-522-2991. And here's why. You can lose up to 50% of your hair before you even notice it. Will Sadler, Clinic Director of Transitions, can help you.
Transitions Indy has over 20 years of experience restoring hair. We will find the solutions that will work for you. Clients can see results in as little as 3 months.
Transitions has the latest technology for men and women. So go to transitionsindy.com or call 317-522-2991. That's 317-522-2991 for a free hair and scalp analysis and get 2 weeks of treatments free. Take it from me. Don't wait.
An official message from Medicare.
Couple more minutes and we'll start this month's book club.
You know, I usually love a plot twist, but this year I'm comparing my options during Medicare open enrollment.
You can't assume your current health or drug plan is the best one for you.
And you gotta make sure your drugs are covered. That's important.
So is saving money.
Review all your options at Medicare.gov. Open enrollment ends December 7th. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level. On the go.
Not wasting any time. I'm Kurt Darling. Here's what's trending at 11:30. That on mass deportation, so says President-elect Trump.
Trump is likely to enact a series of executive orders right away, which could end parole for some migrants from places like Cuba, Venezuela. Trump's incoming border czar insists this, however, will be a targeted approach.
President Trump has made it clear we're going to concentrate on public safety threats and national security threats.
But over the weekend, Democrats said this is not about national security, it's about the economy. That's the new message coming off the Hill, is that mass deportations could mean higher prices.
Fox's Mark Meredith. The Dallas Wings are on the clock. Dallas has won the draft lottery and now holds the first overall pick in the 2025 WNBA draft. The Wings are likely going to pick UConn guard Paige Beakers with their second top overall selection since 2021. I'm Kurt Darling, on the level, on the go, and on WYBC.com.
Hey guys, it's Rob. We're getting into the Thanksgiving season, and one of the things I know I'm thankful for is Life Church. Man, they've had such a great impact on my life, on my family's life over the past several years, and you can see it for yourself. You know, one of the things I love about Life Church is they have incredible online services, so you don't even have to leave the comfort of your own living room. How about that for nothing to lose and everything to gain? Life Church is warm. They're welcoming. Many WIBC listeners have found a home at Life Church over the years. And while they have campuses in Noblesville, Fishers, Eagle Creek, and Pendleton, you can check it all out for yourself, all by yourself if you want to. Online, right from the comfort of your own home. Learn more about everything online at lifechurchin.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. An important message about your timeshare from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. Contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance, and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about timeshare cancellation.
Call 800-611-7272. 800-611-7272.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
Healthcare.gov has plans for health because you have plans for life. All plans cover doctor visits and emergency care to keep you and your family running strong. All plans cover hospital stays and prescriptions, so you can have peace of mind. Visit healthcare.gov to explore health plans from the brands you know. 4 out of 5 customers can find a health plan for $10 or less per month with financial help. Enroll at healthcare.gov by December 15th for coverage starting January 1st. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why, when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million-plus products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Looking for the hottest trends in jewelry this year? Come to Pierce Jewelers and see their Love to Love collection in lab-grown diamond jewelry. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
You're listening to the Kendall and Casey Show on 93 WIBC.
Well, I've crafted a letter, Casey.
This all started because you got a letter in the mail telling you that your town may or may not have exceeded the proper amount of lead in the water.
Yeah, I got a letter from the town of Brownsburg, and of course, like it takes you 4 paragraphs in. Oh! Ah, that's hilarious. They told me to contact this guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not kidding you, Casey.
Yeah.
I will be out of the office starting Thursday 11/14 and will not return until Tuesday 11/19. You can't make that up. You cannot make up how inept and stupid the people who run the town of Brownsburg are.
Okay, so back up. You got this letter, and it said there may be unknown pipe material in your water. If you want more information, contact Frank, and he will answer all of your questions.
And so I did. It's this long letter. I mean, it's like a Dickens novel here. Of this guy, this letter. I'm holding it up here on the YouTube, and it's all this government gobbledygook and then nonsensical speak and trying not to tell me what's going on. And they gave me this fall guy, Frank, to contact, and Frank's out of the office until tomorrow. So they sent this letter out, I guess, to the entire community, Casey.
Yeah.
What, I don't know, 30,000 people or more live in town. I don't know how many homes there are. I guess the whole community got the letter. And the guy they said to contact, sorry, he's out of the office until 2. That is the most government thing ever. That is the most Brownsburg government thing ever. Hey, your water could be completely contaminated, or you could be fine.
Maybe.
Here's the guy to call to find out. I'll be back Tuesday.
So you sent him an email.
I did. Would you like me to read the letter,
Yes.
which I now Frank will not read until Tuesday?
Right,
Would you
yeah.
like to know the? Okay, very good.
Yes.
All right, are we ready?
Yeah.
We got some dramatic music here that is going to accompany my reading. Are we
Okay.
ready? Okay, here we go. Kevin. Hello, Frank. I received a letter in the mail, as it sounds like much of the community did, regarding, quote, unknown pipe material in the water. I have some experience in government and reading government documents, and I have no idea what this letter actually says. If me or my family is in any sort of actual danger, if the town's water is contaminated or not, or if there's any action I need to take. Since the town listed you as the fall guy, I'm reaching out to you to see if you can contact me to explain this letter in English and answer the above. Thank you in advance for your time. I'm sure you're getting many letters similar to this.
Doubt it.
Thanks to Big Bad Deb, Lord Travis, and the rest of the Good Time Fun Gang who run the town, going out of their way to be as untransparent as possible, per usual.
Yeah.
I'll follow up with a phone call as well later today. Which I now know Frank won't be there to answer.
Maybe Wednesday. Oh, boy. Well, they did tell you could go on the website to check the town's water report.
Yes, you can do all the work yourself on a bunch of a lot more government speak that you will have no idea. Look, here's the thing. I know how to read government speak better than about 99% of the people out there. And if I look at something and go, I have no idea what this says, then the average person has no chance. The average person has no chance. And the fact that you're like, well, we're just required to send this out by the state, but hey, here's a whole bunch of stuff on the back of this piece of paper that you should do if you're concerned about lead in your water. Your job is to tell me whether I should be concerned about lead in the water. And by the way, this is not some private company, because I heard some people going, well, citizens sent this, blah, blah, blah. No, this is a town utility.
Yeah.
This is a government-run utility. The water is Brownsburg. The sewer is Brownsburg. It's the government.
So people are saying that those letters were mandated by the EPA in the state.
Which is fine.
They had to send those out.
Which is fine. But 4 paragraphs down, if you're saying there's unknown pipe material, which is why I said write a 1-paragraph sentence.
Yeah.
Here's what we're required to do.
Yeah.
We don't see anything wrong. There's something we'd like to investigate with yours just to be sure. Please call me at this number. I'll be back on Tuesday.
That is nothing could have been more local government than that. You send the guy an email and you get an out of office automatic
I didn't even know that. That was perfect. God, I hate living in that town. I hate it.
It is Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC. Good morning.
This winter, cozy up with a match made in cocoa heaven. Introducing Swiss Miss Schmallow, the perfect pairing of Schmallow, the original toasted marshmallow whiskey from Hotel Tango Distillery, and Swiss Miss Hot Cocoa. You've tried Schmallow before. Now Hotel Tango Distillery is taking it up a notch with this fantastic collaboration with Swiss Miss. Imagine rich, creamy cocoa swirling with a hint of toasted marshmallow warmth. It's a sip of comfort like no other. From cold weather gatherings to quiet nights in, Swiss Miss Schmallow is here to add a touch of sweet nostalgia with an adult twist. Warm up your season. Grab Swiss Miss Schmallow before it's gone. Find it at your local store and toast to the taste of winter. Swiss Miss Schmallow, where cozy meets a little bit of kick. Sip responsibly. Must be 21 or older to purchase alcohol. Available where fine spirits are sold. HotelTangoDistillery.com.
Looking for a great place to go for car care? Hi, this is Lonnie Hinkle from Jiffy Lube, and I'd like to share the top 5 reasons that every Hoosier should trust Jiffy Lube to help keep their car running safe and well. Number 5, our computer system holds the maintenance data for every make and model. We know exactly what your car needs and when it needs to be done. Number 4, Jiffy Lube's training system is in the Training Magazine Hall of Fame. Along with companies like Ritz-Carlton, Starbucks, and Nordstrom's, our team does the job right. Number 3, you never need an appointment. We we are ready to serve you whenever it works best for you, so come on in and see us. Number 2, Jiffy Lube accepts competitor coupons so you can get our great service at the desperate price of our competitors. And number 1, Jiffy Lube is a one-stop maintenance shop, and we make it easy for you to take great care of your car. Avoid the repair shop by getting your maintenance done at Jiffy Lube. And we now offer brakes, tires, tune-ups, and minor repairs at most stores.
So head to Jiffy Lube. There's really no reason to take your car anywhere else.
Life insurance is one of those things that just about everybody needs, but few people actually have. Hey, if you die unexpectedly without life insurance, guess what? You'll leave your family with even a bigger mess. Life insurance will help replace your family's income. It'll help cover burial expenses. Life insurance can even help pay off debt like credit cards and medical bills. Life insurance can even pay for college. And if you own a business and you die, life insurance can help your business from collapsing. It can even help cover estate taxes. Life insurance has never been more affordable and needed. Plus, you can always shop around even if you have a plan and save some money. So call the Life Insurance Quote Line right now for free pricing information.
800-917-8730. 800-917-8730. 800-917-8730. That's 800-917-8730.
1 point, 1 swing, 1 tackle, 1 step. One trusted hospital system for orthopedic care. Franciscan Health's orthopedic, sports medicine, and rehabilitation teams offer state-of-the-art treatments, including total joint replacement, physical therapy, and the latest techniques and interventions for a variety of conditions, including arthritis and orthopedic sports-related injuries, keeping you in step, 1 step at a time. Find a full range of orthopedic care in one place. Go to franciscanhealth.org/orthocare.
Nobody cares for you like family. Family Heating and Air.
We set out to be the very best of the best, and the past couple years we've actually achieved that. For all of the state of Indiana, we've been awarded the Dealer of the Year award twice now. Unlike other brands, that only gets handed to one dealer every year, and we're very proud to have won that twice.
Put the best to work for you at FamilyHVAC.net. Family Heating and Air is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
A true partner in your health dedicates time to understanding your needs. At CenterWell Senior Primary Care, doctors make one-on-one time with you a priority, so you can get all your questions answered and feel more confident in your health care. See how it feels to have a team of senior care experts working together to help you feel your best. CenterWell, it's about time. Schedule a tour today at meetcenterwell.com. That's meetcenterwell.com.
Great news! Indy Rhino Shield has partnered with Green Sky Financing to offer affordable monthly payments with 0% interest loans to qualified customers. Call 888-RHINO-41 for details.
You want to listen all day to WIBC, but you don't always have time. Don't worry. There's a podcast for that. The WIBC Mashup. Daily highlights from your favorite hosts, Tony Katz, Kendall Casey, and Hammer and Nigel. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
Have you ever seen a one-trick pony and feel so happy and free? If you've ever seen a one-trick pony...
Rob, if you had an extra $2 million, what would you do with it?
Not be here?
I thought you were going to, hang a big banner across from the State House if you had unlimited funds.
That's true, but here, I've thought about the banner. So for those of you who are new to the program, Casey and I, anytime there's like a mega lottery sort of thing, hey, you can win $1 billion tonight playing the Powerball. We'll ponder what you do with your money.
Yeah.
And always on my list is that I would try to buy the Lockmiller building, which is the building where Lockmiller's. It's a fairly famous bar restaurant downtown. It's directly across from the government center.
Yeah.
It's a multi-story building. There's I think a Subway in there too. And I said I would buy that building.
Right.
And then I would just hang a giant, like in the Seinfeld episode where the Kenny Rogers roasters, where Kramer drapes the bed sheet with the giant Kenny Come Back. I would do that, except instead of Kenny Come Back, it would say Holcomb sucks.
Right.
So he'd see it every day when he goes to work. Here's what I've thought of, though. With $2 million, I could probably just rent, like, the building, I don't know, maybe for a day or two. It would accomplish my mission, and it would be much cheaper. And then I wouldn't be in the landlord business.
I don't think it would cost $2 million either
that's my point.
to rent it for a day.
So see, I could then accomplish my goal and still not be here.
Time is running short, though, if you're going to do that. Because
I'll do it
Holcomb
after
will be out of there.
No, I'll do it after he's gone. He still sucks. Does Holcomb suck any less just because he's not governor anymore?
No, that's true.
Yeah.
It's just a forever reminder. Okay, well, one person with their $2 million, they bought a gold pocket watch that was given to the ship captain of what's it called? The Carpathia, which is the ship that rescued all of the remaining survivors from Titanic.
Wait. It's not even the ship captain of the Titanic?
Mm-mm.
It's of the ship captain
Carpathia.
of the ship that rescued the Titanic.
Correct. Woo. Okay, so this was a gold pocket watch that was given to the ship captain of the Carpathia by the wife of John Jacob Astor. He was the richest man to die in the Titanic disaster.
Yeah.
His wife survived.
Uh-huh.
And as a gift to the ship captain who went back and rescued the 700 people, she gave him this pocket watch. It just went up for auction. Somebody bid $2 million for this piece of jewelry.
Seems like a lot, doesn't it?
It does, but it has set a record for the highest amount. And it does kind of show that people are still fascinated by memorabilia pieces from Titanic.
Yes. And I was thinking as you were telling me about the story, like Titanic is in the history of this country, certainly. I mean, I don't know if it's a Mount Rushmore, societal event, but it's, I mean, obviously like 9/11, Pearl Harbor, but in terms of non-national security, military type of related events in the history of this country, it's got to be up there, doesn't it?
It's a pretty big one. Yeah, marking, history. And, of course, big movie about it.
Well,
right?
That's true. Now, when you were younger, did you have, because didn't it take 2 VHSs to get all the way through the movie?
I actually saw it in the theater.
You really?
It was like 3.5 hours
You went
in the
and
theater.
sat through that thing in a theater.
I did.
Yeah, you probably, you're a woman, so you probably really liked it.
I did at the time, but now that I look back on it, there's so many things that were wrong with that movie.
Right. But so my dad and I were talking about this weekend about things that are wrong in movies and how entire movies are made around things that never happened, like especially in sports. So a great example is Hoosiers, right? The only thing that really happened in the movie Hoosiers is the guy hits the shot at the end.
Yeah, they take some liberties.
I mean,
that's
that's
what
it.
You're saying?
That's it. The guy was not a first-time coach. While it was a smaller school, they were one of the best teams in the state the year before. You might even say they were favored to win the state championship the upcoming year. They had, there's just so many things that aren't true other than the fact that the guy hits the shot. Rudy's the same way, right? Like Dan Devine did not despise Rudy. Dan Devine knew, he's talking about this he's no longer with us, but talked about that many times that everybody knew Rudy was going to play. Joe Montana said, nobody threw their jerseys down. I think some people even said, we didn't even like Rudy.
Right.
So you see this a lot where these movies, and the problem is, and then because people don't educate themselves, they assume the movie is
that's true,
historically accurate.
That's history. I think the one thing that bothers me most about the movie Titanic, many people will argue, whether Jack could have been on the floating door if there was room for both of them.
Sure.
Or should she have tossed the jewel into the ocean? I think
what a waste.
I think the part that bothers me the most is here she is. She had this whole other life. She went on to get married and have children. But then at the end, she's remembering the freeloader that she met on the ship.
That's a great point. Yeah, what a crappy husband her real husband must have been.
Right?
Or she's just a horrible human.
Exactly.
Never thought about that.
She's not. They show the pictures of all her memories, and she's got a daughter or granddaughter there helping her, and she's remembering about this one night stand with this freeloader Jack.
I don't know if I've ever seen that movie all the way through. In fact, I'm certain I've not actually sat down and watched all 9 hours of Titanic from start to finish.
No, you're okay. I think you'll be okay without it in your life.
I think I've seen the part where they're on the boat or the ship. I'm the king of the world or whatever.
Yeah.
I think I've seen the end of it too. Yeah, because I've definitely seen the end of it because that's where the guy, I have a child. Well, he doesn't really actually have a child.
No.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. He was a bad guy, right? He was one of the rich guys. Anyway, that pocket watch from the captain, $2 million. Okay, something else that's happening is the United States Postal Service is releasing a forever stamp featuring Betty White.
Oh.
She passed away in 2021.
Has it been 3 years?
That
can't be right, is it?
No, it was
really?
December 2021.
So
3 weeks right before her 100th birthday.
Yeah, so we're rewarding someone who failed.
What do you mean?
Well, she didn't make it to 100.
She didn't make it to 100.
I mean, she got that close and then quit.
Well, a lot of people would say that.
I'm kidding.
She didn't fail. I mean, The Golden Girls, Mary Tyler Moore Show, Boston Legal.
Okay, so
a lot of people loved Betty White.
All right, so let's talk about this for a second because, okay, yes, she was a beloved actress in the sense of she became famous when she was older. She always kind of played this wacky dingbat type character. Very good, very loved. By all accounts, a very nice woman, not disputing any of that. However, if we're going to put somebody on a stamp and it's someone of some cultural significance, shouldn't that be reserved for, like, say, Elvis Presley, who is on a stamp? I mean, if you were to tell me, hey, Mickey Mantle's going to be on a stamp. Okay, cultural icon. Every boy in the 1950s wanted to be Mickey Mantle. Same, Elvis Presley.
Are you saying nobody wanted to be Betty White?
Well, I'm just saying. I think we've kind of started to stretch it a little bit that we have, somebody who is a liked actress later in life playing the wacky older grandma type character. I don't know. I just don't think that's stamp worthy.
Okay.
And she didn't make it to 100.
No, she didn't. She failed by 3 weeks. So what you're telling me is that you're not going to go get this stamp. You're one of the few people that probably uses stamps.
I still do use stamps.
Yeah.
Absolutely, I still use stamps.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. Do they cost more if you want a specific stamp? Like, are all the stamps the same price?
No, there's stamps for different prices.
Oh, well, but I'm saying, like, if I want a stamp and one has Betty White on it and one does not have Betty White on it, would I pay more for the stamp?
I think you can just ask. Like, if you're buying Forever stamps, you can say, I want the Betty White one.
Because now at the post office, they got that little kiosk. So I never actually engaged. I can't think of the last time I engaged with someone at the post office. But when I owned my business for years, and this was in the mid-2000s and then the last decade, I would go in all the time to the post office, mail things to people, whatever, and they would ask you all the time, which one of these stamps would you like? I don't know if they still do that or not, if they give you the option to choose which stamps you would like.
Well, it's not available yet. It'll be available next year. Forever stamps costing 73 cents.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, well, they just raised it. It used to be 68 cents.
They raised it 5 cents?
It's Forever stamp.
Man, I'm going to have to get on this direct pay with this stuff. I'm just going to have to do it. It's just, that's ridiculous. I mean, I love the post office, and I'm one of the greatest mailmen of all time, but 73 cents every time you got to send a bill out. That's,
Yeah,
I got to get on this direct pay stuff. How does that work? What do you do?
I don't know.
You don't pay your bills directly?
Online?
Yeah. That's what I mean, the direct pay stuff.
Yeah.
You just log in?
Yeah.
There's some sort of account they'll set up for you?
Sign up an account. You got to give your email. All that stuff.
It seems like a lot of work. It's probably easier just to write a
You
check.
can also do bill pay as a guest for many places.
As a what?
As a guest, where you don't have to have an account. You can just say pay as guest.
Oh.
And then you put your account number
for
whatever bill it is.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd probably just rather pay the 73 cents and not. I don't like putting my information on the internet.
Okay, one last thing that I wanted to talk to you about. The LIV, the Live Golf Tournament coming to Indiana.
Chatham Hills.
Yeah. Are you
Westfield.
excited? Are you excited about this?
Well, yeah. I mean, look, this is
next summer.
Okay, so there's two things about this. One, there's still some what's the word I'm looking for here? There's some lack of clarification because the Live and the PGA are still in these supposed merger talks. And so my question is, if that does indeed take place, will this tournament go the way of the dinosaur? I don't know. People are torn on Live. Clearly, Live has some of the best golfers in the world. They've been able to pry DeChambeau and Brooks Koepka and Cam Smith. And then obviously they have some luminaries like a Phil Mickelson type of guy. There are passionate views on Live Golf on both sides. One side would say it's almost like the Savannah Bananas in the sense of like the guys are wearing shorts and they're playing 3 days and there's loud music and everybody's drinking excessively and having a great time.
So fun.
Yeah, I mean, like how serious are we actually taking it? But then there's also the thing of like, hey, these are still the best golfers in the world. They're playing. Bryson DeChambeau has won 2 U.S. Opens in the past couple of years.
Have you seen the videos of Bryson DeChambeau?
Yes.
No, trying to hit the golf ball over his glass
I knew what
house.
you were going to say. Yes, so he has this mansion in Dallas.
Yeah,
and
it's like glass.
Yeah, and he's hitting these. He's got a green in his back. I guess it would be the equivalent of his backyard, and he's in what I guess would be his driveway, and he's launching
golf balls over his house.
Yeah, a wedge of some sort over his house, and he's hitting it within 2 or 3 feet of the pin at this little thing.
He's trying to get a hole in one.
I guess if you have as much money as he does, it wouldn't matter whether you break a window.
Right.
What's the worst he could do?
Just one window. Okay, so he started out saying the first day he's going to try to do it with one shot, and then on the second day he'll take 2 shots.
Yeah.
Third day 3 shots. Last I saw, he was up to 4 tries. Day 4. He still hadn't made it. He hasn't made it.
He's trying to hit it in the hole. He's hitting it very close. It's very hard to hole out.
He hasn't made the hole in one
No,
yet.
it's very hard. I'll be very impressed if he could do that. It's a very tough task. But anyway, yes, that is coming in August, and it will be a big event for the greater Central Indiana area. It'll attract a lot of people, no matter what your opinion on LIV is, and good for Westfield, good for Central Indiana.
August 15th through the 17th, 2025. You should try and work it.
No, I don't even work here.
That's true. And you're especially not going to work now because it's time for us to go.
That's right.
All right. Thanks, Rob. Thanks, Kevin. Thank you for listening today. It is Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-285-0395. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-285-0395.